Fuck them if they don't like my music.
You need my love, baby, oh so bad. You're not the only one I've ever had. I say I wanna set you free. Don't you know you'll be in misery? They call me Dr. Love. They call me Dr. Love. I've got the cure you're thinking of.
They call him Da.Hippie.
They do.
What up, Doug?
Good morning, Doug.
Thank you for being here, Douglas. Please share it out to all your stoner friends. Any stoner groups you happen to be in, anybody that you think might be interested.
Happy Thursday, Kelly.
You need my loving, don't you know it's true? So answer, please.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
What's up, Brian?
Baby, I know what your problem is. The first step of the cure is a kiss. So call me Dr. Love. They call me Dr. Love. Call me Dr. Love. I am your doctor of love. Dr. Love. Ha! Ah! They call me Dr. Love. They call me Dr. Love. Dr. Love. I got the cure you're thinking of.
All right, Sean, you found us.
God.
Please, everybody, give it a share out to all those groups you're a part of, all those marijuana groups, anybody you might know. Good morning, Andrew. How are you? Good to see you. That's right. Time to wake and bake with the hippie and the doctor.
They call me Dr. Love. I am the doctor of love. I've got the cure you're thinking of.
Hi, Steve. Good to see you again.
Morning, Steve.
Welcome in. We have 10 fabulous people here. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
I've got the cure you're thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
They call me Dr. Love. I've got the cure you're thinking of.
Hi, Elvis. How are you? Good to see you.
Elvis, how's it going this morning? WTHC, good morning, everybody. We are hanging, and it's Hippie here, hanging with Dr.High. Morning.
Dr.High.
How's it going?
Good morning, Dr.High. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Doing good.
The yard looks lovely today. The sun has come up, I see.
Looks different in the sunlight, eh?
Yeah, it looks beautiful. I love it. All
Yeah.
right, we have a bunch of people who said they had questions, so we'll see how it goes.
Cool.
How was your night? Did you do anything fun?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I pretty much work and I chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I get to do it all at home, hang out with the dog. I work until I'm tired of working.
Welcome in, CJ. Welcome in, everybody. Good morning.
CJ, we've got a lot of people with us this morning. It's nice, eh?
Yeah, it's getting there every day a little bit better. We're rolling this joint, and by the time we're done, we're going to be able to blaze it and smoke it and lick it and grill it and fire it up.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I had some friends in the back room who had a bunch of different questions that they want to talk to you about. And there goes Curly Keller ready. She says,
"Morning, Kelly.
What is the difference between a boost and a live res? I would assume a live resin vape."
I don't even know what a boost is.
Yeah, I think it's just a name. I really don't know, Curly Keller.
Is it like a brand name maybe or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
if I understood what a boost was, I could probably answer that question.
A live vape would simply be made from a live extraction, which means that the extraction was done from a fresh plant, fresh or fresh frozen. Could have been extracted by CO2, could have been extracted by butane or propane, could have been extracted by alcohol. So many ways that could have been extracted to keep it in its live form. Rosin for another one. But
she's a cart girl. She's a flower and a cart girl. She likes flower and she likes carts. And she picked up 2 carts yesterday.
Okay.
And one of them said boost, and the other one said live resin. I think it said live.
Can people send us pictures in the chat?
I don't know. Maybe.
Is it possible to put a picture in the chat?
Lori, that would be you. You're the smart one.
Maybe Kelly would be able to take a picture of what this boost was, and then if I can see what it is, I might be able to help define the difference.
Cool. CJ says, thanks for the info yesterday. I've got a beautiful sunshine that is germinating away. Well, that is
beautiful. Did he find the little peat pucks I was talking about? Is that what he's using, or he just go straight into a little pot with some dirt?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't get that far.
I didn't mention. That's why I was asking.
You're not able
can't send
to
a pic. Hey, Kelly.
Damn it.
All right. So I'm not really sure.
I know a couple people said they tried to send you a invite to the Discord. So that'll.
I saw that in my email.
Yeah.
But I was checking on my phone, and I don't have the Discord in the phone. I just have it on the computer because I really only use it when I'm creating art. It's going to be new for me to actually communicate with humans. I only communicate with a computer when I'm on Discord. So,
well, yeah,
this will be a different experience.
It's kind of like this, except for there's 20 boxes or more, depending on how many people are there, and we're all hanging out. And then you can sit and listen to the music, and people can talk to you.
So it's video too.
It's video, and if you want to, you don't have to. You can have your box off, like see that little WTHC symbol over there.
Morning, Veronica.
Sometimes I have my box off and I'm just sitting there and I'm playing music and, I don't want to look at them dumbasses.
Right.
Or I'm eating food and I don't want people to see me eating while I'm DJing. So, I take my picture. I'm a sloppy eater and I get food all over my shirt. Anyway, so I have a friend. He's going to remain nameless.
Oh, is it one of those kind of friends?
He's a great guy, and I love him to death. And he is in a sad situation right now.
Okay.
All right. For court appointed, he is not allowed to partake in THC for quite some time, for a little while anyway.
That is a sad situation.
Now, I was telling him, we were discussing this earlier in the back room, and I was like, it's bullshit because, like, here I would fight it. I would be like, yo, I have a card. I'm a medical patient. I need that shit. It's my medicine. And I
don't see how the court can overrule the doctor.
Right. And in his state, it's recreational, but it might also be medical. I don't know. I don't remember if he ever told me if it was medical or not. But it is definitely recreational and one of the best ones for recreation, if I might add.
Okay.
Yes, he's the one that tells me $3 grams of dabs, $5 grams of dabs, and I'm like, But anyway, long story short, I was telling him about your website and your THC, which is what, 3% or less, right?
0.03% by weight.
By weight, right? So is
by
that
weight.
Would that still become illegal if he were to smoke it at a medium pace?
Well, he would still show. See, now the flower in my dispensary is THCA flower, right? Now somebody might say THCA flower. What's that? All right, so let me tell you how it works. Fresh cannabis.
Hold on, before you go crazy and get into all this. Because we're not lawyers in any way, so we don't, we're not suggesting anything. But Delta 8 and Delta 8 and Delta 10 are legal everywhere, right? They're legal.
Yeah.
So
there are some places that are looking at changing that.
But technically, can he smoke Delta 8 I mean, we're not lawyers, obviously, we're not. But
well, I assume that he's going to
all derivatives of.
Well, this is going to be the issue that he's going to have, right? If he's under a court order not to consume THC, they're going to try and enforce that order through drug testing. And Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10 are all THC, just different variations on the same molecule. So Delta 8 will still be a positive test for THC. They're not going to be able to identify that, I don't think, in the in the blood sample. They're not going to be able to define whether it's 8, 9, 10, HHC, whatever. So,
right. So you're still pretty much screwed. Sorry, dude.
I think it's a problem, but I also think that if he is a prescribed medical user, that his medical needs would supersede the order of the court.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like that was our first
concern.
Right. That was our first conversation, but I don't think that he has medical because he chose not to or whatever reason. Okay. But if medical is a possibility there, sir, I would definitely say go get your card, because then, you're like, oh, well, now, sir.
I would also say if you're a regular cannabis user, if you have the opportunity to get a medical card, get it anyway. Because simply for this reason, right? Cannabis impaired driving laws, the courts are viewing medical cannabis patients different when it comes to the levels that are allowed to be in the blood, right? Because the science knows for a fact how the body stores THC over an extended period of time. And those levels don't necessarily reflect whether you're currently under the influence or if you've been under the influence for the last 30 days and today you didn't smoke at all. You're still going to test very positive for THC, right? In any sort of analysis.
That's why I'm like always saying that I can't drive. I might as well not drive ever because I'm fucked.
There's already been tests in the courts in the United States and Arizona and a couple of other states. And the courts have recognized the fact that as a habitual cannabis user, a medical cannabis user who uses daily or multiple times a day, that the amount of THC that's in the blood is really elevated, way, way above the legal limits that are allowed already. And you might not have gotten high for a week and you still far exceed it, right? So you're not in immediate danger. That's what the major concern is, like alcohol, right? When you consume alcohol, you're in immediate danger on the road. But once that alcohol is worn off, tomorrow or the next day, you're not a danger on the road Tuesday from a drink you had on Saturday. Right. So it's, they have to look at it like that. And, I think that having that medical card, if it doesn't cost you, if it costs you money, then, or a lot of money, it's not really worth it. But if it's easy to access and cheap enough, it could protect your ass one day.
Can I interrupt for a second? There was, there's this, big thing about, you can't have a medical. I don't know how true or not true it is, because some people I may or may not know may already own a gun, and then they were all concerned. Oh my God, they're going to take my gun away if I get a weed card. I can't get a weed card because I'm going to lose my gun. And so I could totally understand that, and I totally get it. But some people I know have weed cards and still own guns.
I don't think that they shouldn't own guns because they're medical cannabis.
That was a big thing here in the United States.
I understand where
theory, you never know, but
and it's probably some pharmaceutical company pushing that agenda, or somebody, somebody on that side. See, that's the problem, right? You never really know who's behind these arguments, and some of them are a little bit stupid, right? Because there's more people in the United States getting drunk all the time than there is people getting high all the time. And that's for a fact.
Myself personally,
and people are motivated to go out.
If I'm drunk and I'm pissed off, and I'm stoned and I'm pissed off, good chance you're going to get a bullet in your ass if I'm drunk.
Right. And what's the chance that you
No,
really pissed
I'm
off
not even getting
anyway.
up to go find my key for my safe, for fuck's sake. I'm like, nah, fuck it. It's not worth it.
Exactly.
Get off my property, you son of a bitch. I'll get the dog after you.
That's what cannabis is about. There's a 99% chance you're never even going to reach that level of agitation if you're high.
If I'm stoned, I might not even remember where the damn key is. I'll be like, oh, where's that damn key?
Yeah, I don't think there's any correlation, and I don't think it's cool. Whoever's raising that or voicing that as a concern.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of. I mean, there's people who are scared of it. Like, you know how they pounded that shit into our head. Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. Well, now they're pounding in. You're going to lose your gun. You're going to lose your gun. You're going to lose your gun.
But they weren't pounding in the science.
They're going to take away your Second Amendment right because you want to be a pothead. You know, that's, you know, and then it's all about politics again.
Listen, they're going to have to figure out a way to do that anyway, because with the changes that the world's going to see in the next 50 years, they're not going to want armed citizens around. You know what I mean?
I don't think they want too many of them around now. It's like every day, 6 and 7 mass shootings a day now. It's like crazy here.
I know.
Now my wife's like, why are you afraid to go outside? Well, I don't know.
You just never know, eh?
Right. She's like, they're never going to shoot up a hippie festival. I'm like, I ain't taking no fucking chances. I'm too fat to run. I'm too fat to run away. Bullets are faster than me.
I mean, you wouldn't think people go and shoot up schools either, would you?
Right.
But what happens?
Right.
You know?
Right. Anyway, we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
This is talk about Bruno.
Who's Bruno?
I don't know. That's a song. I don't know.
Oh.
I cannot believe you could be at a something.
Oh, I'm trying to get back up here. The last one I looked at was Veronica coming in, saying good morning.
Yeah, Delta 8 makes her sneeze.
Yeah. And CJ, okay, so he put it in the pot with the dirt and have a pot on the top to cover with cellophane with another space. As long as you keep the humidity up and out of really direct sunlight initially, because it needs much less intensity of light, right, to get going. You know, you don't really give it the full blast of light until it's maybe 4 inches tall, 5 inches tall, and you have a decent root mass down there that's able to maintain plant moisture. Then it's safe to go into the intense light fully, you know. So what do we got? Okay, so there's the invite from Lori. I'll have to figure that out. I'll get into Discord later on today. Oh, Boost is the hybrid marijuana strain. Oh, really? I've not heard of it. It must be a new one, because I've not heard of that. That.
I mean, I think we have a company here called Boost. It might actually be a dispensary. Boost dispensary. I think I could be wrong.
Oh, and it's a cross between blueberry and sweet
or a grow company
or strain. Blueberry and sweet tooth. It's an indica. Huh. Hippie, using the cell phone. If I send you a pic, maybe you can show the pic. There goes Kelly.
I don't think I can. My phone is being preoccupied.
Delta 8 makes you sneeze, Veronica. Never heard of that before.
All right, I'm going to run a commercial. We'll be right back. You're hanging with Hippie and Doktorhigh.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this. But you're here now. You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you going to do? You're going to go grocery shopping. Cook, clean. Be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever.
Start looks good, eh?
This is
Look at all the trees.
Show the world.
Yes.
That's his backyard.
Yourself. Tougher than tough. And be the best caregiver this world has ever seen.
Well, Kelly says she sent you the pic.
Caregiving is tougher than tough.
If anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We're here for you.
Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, Mr. Slow. How are you?
And proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow,
That's our friend
play, and learn
Raggy.
is
That's his
amazing,
YouTube
But
page.
not every child
Okay.
gets
Hi,
to be
Raggy.
carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't
Yeah,
play
if
like
you're
the
having
other
any
kids.
issues
She
over
doesn't
on
have the
Facebook, you
energy
can go
because
check
she's
us out on
hungry.
YouTube as
School
well.
lunch
You
will
might
be
be
her
able to hear
only
us
meal today.
better or something
It
to that
breaks my heart
effect.
that this is the reality in our country.
I
But
will
it's
turn it
something
back
that
up
Feeding
again when
America
we
is
get
working
back
to
live.
change. Each year, the Feeding America
Yeah, my
network
computer's actually running a lot better today.
pounds of
Yeah,
food
no
is
issues so
waste.
far. Knock
This
on
food
wood.
is then
So far, it's
provided
been
to
okay.
families and children in need. Being a kid should be
We
about
shall
using
see.
imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid
Here we go.
because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I just want to give a huge shout out to Chuck over at Collins Painting LTD. You can find him over on Facebook. They're in Ellensville, New York. Wow, what a great team
I
over
forgot
there.
I put that up there
Really
for you,
amazing.
Lori.
And always
Yes,
supporting
Lori, look
us
at the
here
banner I
over
made
at
for you.
WTHC.
A huge shout out to our favorite crazy Lori.
Badger Heart Puppetry. If you need some
And a huge congratulations to a half a lung Lori for making it to the finals in the Stoner Roulette League.
He can fix puppets.
Oh,
we are proud of you and love you.
Puppets. He has
Keep
puppets
on
off the
smoking.
rack for cheap prices. Contact George today. 1-636-234-1535 or on TikTok or Facebook at Badger Heart Puppetry. He also makes LARP items.
Hey, stop, Loki.
Hey, Hippie, look at this beautiful
Hey,
Christmas
outside,
spirit
like-
up in Bella's Badass Crystals.
Look at this big vagina I got.
OMG, Hippie.
It doubles as a worry stone.
Bella's Badass Crystals is on the top of the mountain in Dauphin, PA.
You can also check out their sales. They have mini Mondays and twice a day Tuesdays.
Find Bella's Badass Crystals on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
They are badass.
WTHC, we're back, and Bella's Badass Crystals is badass, is right. Oh my goodness, I love them, and I think today is Thursday. They're probably going to have a sale this weekend. Don't quote me, but I know they're probably itching. It's been a few days. Anyway, we're back with Dr.High. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. It's been a great day so far. Badass, right? Badass. What else? Anybody else have any questions before we?
I'm still going back here to. I'm looking back at Lori saying that she had a friend that tested positive for THC, and he'd been using Delta 8. So I guess that kind of confirms the theory about whether that's going to give a positive THC test or not. So thank you for that, Lori. Now that we know that it's factual and not just supposition.
But my question is now, but Delta 8 is legal.
Well, I don't know. I guess you'd have to be willing to spend that money on the lawyer.
Right. I mean, technically, Delta 8 is legal everywhere in the United States.
It is. It is. But I'm not sure if they can.
So they can tell me not to smoke marijuana. So I won't go to my dispensary, but I will go to that local dive at the end of the block and pick up some Delta 8.
Well, we'd have to know whether in the testing process it's possible to determine the difference. Right? When they do the drug tests, we'd have to know.
I think that's something that you and I need to look into.
You know what I mean?
Because
here, I never see it
the CDL because of it.
It's only like that in the States because entrepreneurs and smart business people are always looking for a way to give the people what they want, right?
That loophole.
So they find that loophole. And nowhere has anybody ever talked about Delta 8 and Delta 10. And you know what I mean? We've only heard about that in the last few years. We've never even heard of it before. And it's just that somebody's discovered a way to skirt the law and bring these products to market, which is okay. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But what I'm saying is that if the technology can't make the differentiation once it's been consumed, then it's very difficult for you to argue the point in a courtroom. in my opinion, right?
Well, I totally get what you're saying, and I am not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm not making that argument. I see what you're saying, but I'm just saying the what ifs. Like it's bullshit. You can go out and you can buy that stuff, and it's legal.
Yeah.
But then you can go to jail for it and not be able to use it.
Well, you can go to jail for it if it's a condition of, if you're under a conditional sentence or under a court order. You could go to jail for it, perhaps. You know what I mean? Or your employer, I guess, can discriminate against you for it if you're not.
The place that I was acquainted with that had the stuff, they sold it. They would tell every one of their customers when they bought it, they'd be like, if you get pulled over, show them this receipt, tell them it's Delta 8, and you bought it here. And have them come talk to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. I wasn't selling it. I was sitting in the other room, hanging out in my own room. But
that's because they're well versed in the laws, right? Because they're operating a business that's sitting right on that line.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah. So it's not the first time they will have encountered questions from law enforcement or investigation by them. It's funny how the police come like this, right? The guy I worked for when I worked in the wholesale, we used to make what they called what were stash cans, everyday products, regular everyday products, from soda cans to paint cans to spray paint cans to.
Right, but then you could pull them apart and you would hide your stuff inside of them.
Hide your stuff in there, and you could not tell the difference. You could not tell the difference between that and a regular product. They did it right. They weighted the products properly. In cases where they could leave some product in, they did. You know what I mean? So it was really interesting. And the police used to come quite regularly to check up and get up to date on what the latest stashes were that they weren't aware of. They would come and get some intelligence gathering right in the store.
Don't you feel a little dirty on the same time? You're like, yeah, I sell this stuff to all these people, but this is how they get away with it.
Well, it's not like we were calling them up and saying, "Hey, come check out the latest stuff."
Right. But when they came walking in, you were like, "Oh, fuck! I got to show them all
right?
Now here they come again."
Yeah, nothing you can do about it though. Hey, let's have a look at that.
First of all, it's all tobacco items, sir. Yeah. Just step out. There's nothing to see here. It's all for tobacco uses only.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah. Anyway. So, it's really DA.
It's a shame. He lost his CDL, she says here. He lost his CDL.
Commercial driver license, eh?
Oh, yeah.
CDL?
What is your feelings? I don't know if you guys up there in the north have Kratom. Have you heard of Kratom?
Yeah, of course. I have Kratom here.
Do you use it?
I have Kratom in the house. No, I've not tried it yet. I have tried it before, but not in the form. I bought some last summer. I was at a cannabis cup event. The Indigenous Cannabis Cup event that's held close to here on Mohawk territory. All Indigenous vendors and manufacturers and such. And there was a table with the Kratom. So I decided to buy some of the powdered Kratom and try it, but I just have never gotten around to doing it yet. So it's part of my collection for the future. May or may not happen, but years ago, probably 7 years ago.
Well, can we, before you get started, can you tell us what it is? Because a lot of people might not even know what it is. Is it a mushroom product? Is it a powder? I know it comes in different forms.
It's a plant that grows in Southeast Asia, and it interacts with the same receptors in our
starts to decay, Lori,
brain and body that opioids work on. So it works on the opioid receptors, right? So Kratom is actually used in Southeast Asia as a way to get people off of opioids.
Well, I'll say again, this place that I may or may not have attended sold it as well. And they sold it to a lot of people who were trying to get off of opiates or
Yeah.
But it helps with pain. There's different variations of it. You can get like envy penis envy and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are different strains of kratom. When I actually tried it, you can get it in a pill, in a capsule. When I tried it, it was in a liquid form, and it was the alkaloids. So it was a cold press. What they had done was taken the fresh plants, and they had pressed them under pressure, similar to making rosin. And what they get is this sappy, milky juice from the plant, which they bottled into tiny shots. And we played around with actually selling some kratom at one time out of the wholesale. So we brought in 2 different types of kratom, both shots, both liquid. And I did try both of those. My wife and I actually tried them. And it was actually quite pleasant. Now, I hear there can be side effects like there would be with.
I was going to say, I know that I've heard about bad parts of it.
Yeah, like I know that you can go through some of the similar side effects to using like heroin or whatever with the nausea and that at the beginning, but we didn't experience that. We took what I would consider to be a pretty low dose, most likely. Because we didn't consume the entirety of each product. We shared it. So we took about half of the dose that was available each. And it was quite pleasant. You know what I mean? It was very relaxing and almost not quite dreamlike, but no concern, right? No concern. It was just chill. And we just stayed home and relaxed. And I think we watched movies, and it was
like an indica or like.
But not with the same sleepiness, right? Like just a very calm, and that's how I
you know the differences between like there's red and there's white, and
I don't know the differences because kratom is not something that I played with too much. Right. I've read about it because I usually won't try something that I haven't tried to educate myself.
I've heard lots of people say they enjoy it, and then I've heard some people say they've had some bad side effects to it. So I never, I wasn't one. I'm like, I don't have that opiate issue. I don't think that I need to start playing with something that I don't need to play with. But I wanted to know if there's medical benefits to it. Is there
supposedly non-addictive kratom? But I've also heard that it can be. So I've heard both sides of that coin. But the woman that I got it from last summer had been involved in a very serious car accident at one point. And kratom is how she weaned herself off of the prescription opiates that she was on.
See, I've heard that.
She maintained her wellness with kratom. It was a regular part of her life daily. It addressed the issues that were residual from the accident, right? And this is why she was such a proponent of it, because she had very positive results in her own life. And that's about all I can say about it, because that was the conversation explained to me how she
our first experience
become involved and why she'd become involved. Yeah.
You're frozen, but I can still hear you. Oh, you're back.
So, so that's what I'm talking with a real life.
Nah, you're cutting out. I can't hear you at all. Oh, you look normal.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. We're back.
You're back. You look back now. Yeah.
We're back.
You look good.
Can you hear me?
You're back. Yes, we're back.
Can you hear me though?
I can hear you.
All right.
You look good. I can hear you.
So that's all I really know about kratom. Really, is what I've read about it, the two experiences I had with it, and having a good conversation with somebody who was a huge proponent and had used it to.
I just remember one real shady dude. He would come in every week and he would pick up his bag of white kratom pills. Yeah. And, if he didn't have them, then he was angry and he would leave.
Well, I mean, it stands to reason, right, that if opiates are addictive, something that occupies that same receptor site and activates it would also potentially have addiction potential. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my opinion, it just seems
And especially if you're trying to fight that other battle, and
Yeah.
now this is what's helping you, and then we don't have it there. You know, you're like,
no, it
whoa.
seems like a reasonable thing to be cautious of, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's why I never played with it. Yeah. That's why I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I said, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. But I wanted to know how much you knew about it and if you knew any, medical benefits to it or anything like that.
Well,
I
that's what I've
appreciate
heard.
you touching in on that. I appreciate us touching on that. That's
Yeah.
great news, Sean. Sean just moved from the first floor to the third floor of his apartment building.
Oh, that changes the way that the air circulates. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He realized very quickly as he was carrying stuff from one floor to the third floor, he was like, wow, it's hot. And then they moved up there and they've been, wow, it's fucking hot.
It's hot here now.
Yeah, well, he's up there by you. He's in Hamilton.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can tell you.
He said it was in the 90s yesterday or something like that.
It will be
He was
again
up on the
today.
third.
But
To tell you the truth, I haven't even seen his wife Dawn yet. She may have passed on because usually I say good morning to her, and she was awfully quiet. It's very hot up there. Very soon.
Oh no, it's warm here right now. It's the humidity, right? The humidity is so high here. You know, we start getting in the 65% humidity, and that temperature is killer. But you know what? My place is beautiful. It stays fresh. I got the central air. So
she's still alive. He said she's there.
I
didn't
get
get
to
to say
slap
good
in the
morning.
I get to slap in the face when I go to put the dog out, and that wall of hot, wet air hits you.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like that too. It's like two different worlds.
It's
man.
like that when I walk out of this room I'm in here. I got a little air conditioner in my window right behind me here, and that's nice and icy cold. I walk out into my bedroom and I'm like, I'm going back in there. Go get what I need, and I run back in here and I hang out in here. Nobody else has got AC. Fuck
That's funny.
No, they
So-
do. They all have it in their rooms, but nobody has it in the living room. You know.
So Kelly wants to know what my favorite to smoke is. I move around. I gotta say, like, I go for periods of time where I only smoke flower. And if I have to call out my absolute favorite strain of all, it's Super Lemon Haze. I like my sativas, and Super Lemon Haze is probably my favorite of all of them.
Now, can I stop you for a second? Sativas, there's bad sativas for hippie, and then there's okay sativas for hippie.
Okay.
Is that true? Is that possible? I mean, some of them, I feel like I've had sativas, and I'm like, yes, I feel great. I'm in the best mood ever. I'm not too manic. When I take sativas, I get very manic, and I start to talk, and I can't slow down, and I can feel my heart palpitating, and I'm like, oh, these aren't good for me.
Right. Well, you're looking for a different experience, right? Well, first of all, where you're saying some teams do that. We're stopped.
You are back. I can hear you, but you're not moving.
Hold on.
There you
go.
You gotta tell a man when he's sitting like this. He could have had my crotch out. Welcome in, everybody. I don't know where Dr. High went. Dr. High? Dr. High? Ganji lovers. Welcome in, Ganji lovers. Dr. High, I think we just went on break. I don't know if I have to send him another invite. I think he should be able to just, doctor. Can't you hear me call? Yeah, anyway. Maybe I'll do another commercial real quick while he's seeing what the heck happened over there. I'm still here, right? You guys can see me. I see you guys writing. Do you do commercial? Yes, I do commercials all the time, Curly Cal. Thank you. Dr. High? Dr. High? Hi, Red Eyes. How are you? All right, I'll do a commercial.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now.
I'm going to try sending him
You're going to
another
go out
invite.
there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you going to do? You're going to go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough.
If you guys can search around out there in the audience, Dr. High might have gotten lost.
Caregiving is tougher than tough.
Dr. High, please report back to the stage. Dr. High, back to the stage.
Public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun.
Dr. High, are you here?
Have to miss out on simply being a kid.
Back.
You're hungry.
He's back,
To find out how
everybody!
you can help end childhood hunger.
All right,
in
we're
your
doing a
community.
commercial, but we'll
Visit
be right back.
feedingamerica.org.
I don't know what the hell that was.
Feeding America
I don't
and the
either.
Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, Mrs. Hibby. Check out Vern on TikTok at You Have Me Hooked. She's amazing. And everything she makes on TikTok, she sells at You Have Me Hooked 23 at Etsy. So you can watch her make it and she'll make personalized stuff. So if you have an idea, like I would like this thing made, she can make it. She can make anything. She's an incredible artist. Check her out.
I don't
You
know.
Have Me Hooked on TikTok and You Have Me Hooked
Curly
23 on
Cal's
Etsy.
crazy.
Okay.
Come hang out on WTHC Radio with the hippie. He makes my nipples tingle.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
WTHC, welcome back, everybody. We are back. We found Dr. High. He went to the concession stand. He got lost, but he's back now. He got himself a drink and some of the edibles that we have for sale over there at the concession stand. You guys, don't worry. He's back. Everybody, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Dr. High, welcome back. Thank you for being here, of course.
Thank you for your patience.
Oh, no problem. I got anything.
I don't know what the hell that
patience
was.
is not something I normally have. But
You were there,
I do.
and then it was gone.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You were just here, and then all of a sudden, I was big. I was like,
Gone.
wow,
Yep.
he's gone. Anyway,
Yep.
so we were talking about sativas and
Yeah.
how dangerous they are for me.
Well, what I was going to say is that in this day and age, it's not normal. It's unusual to find a pure sativa, right? There are some out there, but there are not a lot of pure sativas. Like you might find, 8, 10, 12 strains that are pure, but that's about it. Then everything else becomes a hybrid, right? And how much sativa and how much indica is that hybrid? And that's probably where you're experiencing differences in sativas is because of the balance inside of the hybridation of it, right? Is it a 50 indica, 50 sativa? Is it 80 indica, 20 sativa? Is it 80 sativa and 20 indica? You know what I mean? So The sativas can be all over the map. You don't find a lot of pure sativas. That's one of the things I like for lemon haze.
Little Red, how are you, young lady? Good to see you. Good morning. Yeah. So the hybrids are the ones that are fucking me up. No, because when I get a little green box, it's okay. When I get a red box, that's when I go crazy.
Well, is it a hybrid, the red box, or is it a sativa?
Oh, the red box are sativa. Green boxes are hybrids, and blue boxes
well, maybe you're actually getting a strain that's a pure sativa when you get it done.
Indica. Yeah, I mean, I've bought sativas, and I love a good sativa, except for like Curly Kell said, I get mean sometimes. I speak my mind. I'm more free to speak my mind on a sativa, where I'm
That's
a little.
The sativas are more in tune with creativity, thinking, action. You know what I mean? It's a more energetic experience. That's why sativas are daytime weeds for when you're going about your affairs, and indicas are for when you want to relax.
Yeah, I think that maybe that's part of my issue is when I'm sitting here and I'm on a sativa, I have too much energy and I need to be doing other things, and that makes my mind race. But when I'm on here and I'm on an indica, I'm just like, yeah, let's just chill and play tunes. And hang out and play music.
Yeah. And if you're smoking a sativa, you're probably going to want to do more talking between songs.
Very good point. But I see, I love a sativa, but Mrs. Hippie, no, she does not like me on a sativa. She prefers me on an indica. I'm a lot nicer. I'm a lot more mellow and calm. And I've learned to live with them, I've learned to live with them. I think that if you smoke enough of it, you get past that, and you want to be in the couch kind of feeling, and you can get to that regular, all right, I can function.
That would be strain dependent too, a lot of times. You know what I mean? Depending. The indicas tend to be more like that, but you have to look more at what the terpenes are, how old the weed is, how much opportunity there's been for THC to convert into CBN. You know what I mean? So there's a few components inside of cannabis that can give it that sleepy component, that in the couch component, right? And it just depends on how much of those are in a particular strain on a given harvest. Because that's the thing, right? Any strain of cannabis, I don't care what strain you choose. If you give it to 100 different growers to grow the exact same cutting, you're going to end up with 100 variations of the test of the original plant, right? Because it's all about how you feed it, the environment that it's in, temperature control. You know what I mean? The way that you maintain the plant, your trimming styles. I mean,
when everybody's like, oh my God, I love Pineapple Express, or oh my God, I love green crack. Yep. The next time you go to get green crack, it's not going to be the same. It might not be the same. It'll be close.
Different harvest. It will most likely be a different finished product.
Right. And a different euphoric feeling, it could be, anything could be different. You could.
Yeah. It'll have all the same characteristics, but in different numbers. In different percentages.
Right. And what's the odds? I mean, I guess in the beginning, the chances of getting an old batch were very slim, because in my dispensaries here in Pennsylvania, in the very beginning, when they first opened, the places were mobbed. I mean, they were going through shit like it was going out of style. Now it's way different. It's much slower. You go there, you walk in, half the time you get to go right in and right to the back, and you come across a lot more drier product than what you want, that I want personally. Anyway.
Right. Yeah. Well, you don't want that really. Like, you want your stuff to be at 10% humidity. 10%.
I agree. But do you feel like an ass when you sit there and you're like, hey, can I see the date on that one? Can I see the date? Well, I go there and I buy 40 products at once. I'm like, I go in there and I'm buying, 2 ounces of flour, 10 grams of dabs.
And you should be even more insistent. You should be even more insistent that they service you properly, that they get you the product that you need, because it's your money. It's your money.
Very uncomfortable. They have these windows that are down like by my kneecaps.
So is it like going into an old bank style thing where it's like high security or something?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess you got doors that lock behind you, and then you're in there,
I
and
know
then
what
you
that
go,
sounds like.
and then we go a little less of that chink and a little more of the. But yes, anyway, you go in and you get into the room, and then there's 5 or 6 women and men sitting behind the glass,
Right.
and I think that was because of COVID. You know, they just went. They said, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna protect these
But you
fuckers.
still have the opportunity to interact with your bud tenders, right?
Yeah, well, they're there, right, like a bank, and they're sitting there on the other side
How
of the
do they
glass.
interact with their customers? I mean, is it super?
They're sitting comfortably in a chair on their ass, and I'm standing there with my bad back, bending over, trying to talk through a little hole, saying, can I get an ounce of something good?
Are all the dispensaries the same? Or is that the one that you go
No,
to?
the other one was more of a there was more of a hop over the bar kind of thing, tall bar, and you could talk to them face to face. But when
That's
COVID
the
was
first
on,
thing,
yeah.
right?
Huh?
I mean, part of being a customer is finding the right place to shop.
Yeah, but
Now,
part of being a customer is having location, and I don't have anything in my area for an hour.
Yeah, see,
Either way.
that's the problem. But you're still spending your money, so I would be demanding of the service that I received, and I would tell them, listen, they know what you're telling them. They know. You tell them, listen, I don't want a product that's been packaged longer than 60 days. So if today is the 1st of July, I don't want any product that's been packed later than the 1st of May. You know what I mean? To start with, that's what I want. Because of that time frame, right? Like, it makes a difference. Although they'll package it on Canada, they say that cannabis has no known shelf life. There's no best before date or expiration date because they don't know what it is.
All right. Well, I agree, and you're right. You're 100% right. And I don't want anything packaged 60 days before 60 days ago.
Yeah.
But, sir, and I'm not arguing with you. I love you. But these jerks, you're talking to dumbasses here. You're talking to, none of them got a degree in anything except for smoking, I guess. I don't even know
But
how
you're not asking them anything they need to be smart about. All they got to do is read the box.
Oh my God, it's already an hour process while I'm there just trying to get that much. Now you're adding 2 more hours.
Can you buy online, Hippie?
Yeah,
then that might be a better option.
Then I got to do all the research, and I'm just like,
I'll do the research. You just tell me where you're going to buy from and the sort of thing you need.
Shit, I'll give you my credit card number, and we'll just have you order it.
Well, we don't need to go there, but
I'll just walk in. Dr.High called. I'm here.
But
I'm here for Dr. High.
I can do that for anybody. You tell me where you're ordering from or where you want to get
yourself into trouble here, man. You're going to have half of Facebook.
Sorry,
You're going to have half of Facebook coming over here telling me, Dr. High, tell me what I need today.
I'll have them find the best product at the best value at their specific place.
What I want, sir, is that one of them doubles again? 2 grams you're sucking on?
Yeah. I only buy the 2 gram.
Yeah, they don't even have that shit here, man.
See, for here, they have a 1 gram version of this that's $30, or they have a 2 gram version that's $40. Yeah.
See, they were stoned when they made the prices. They fucked up the math.
Yeah. Well, it's the device, right? Like, these
dispensaries suck.
I've used a lot of different delivery devices for cannabis vapes, disposable cannabis vapes. I've tested a lot of them because of my own work in the past, and these are superior. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're paying $5 US just for the empty cartridge, right? So by the time they put the distillate in there and the little bit of terpene, and they have the nice packaging, so their packaging might be costing them 70 cents a unit. They're probably into this product for
$8.
No, I'm going to say probably in the $18, $19 range.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's probably because to get the distillate in there at about $7 a gram would probably be reasonable. You know what I mean? As a number there. The terpenes are negligible. They're talking about pennies. The device, another $5. You know what I mean? So they're probably in the $19, $20 range. So, you know, the retail is going double. They're probably going somewhere in between at $10 a unit to the dispensary, and the dispensary is throwing out another 10, you know?
Yeah. But
fair.
here, like I go here, and you saw my prices. You can pull them up again if you want. That Apple 3 place.
Yep.
They don't have no 2 grams, right? You didn't see any 2 gram things
No, I
there.
didn't see any 2 grams
And the prices of the 1 grams were absolutely outlandish.
Yeah, you're expensive, especially if I take into consideration the exchange rate.
Right.
Right.
Now,
Once I start adding in the exchange rate and putting a similar value on that product as to what we would have to pay in Canada, yeah, what you're paying is very expensive.
That's why I love my girlfriend Pothead up there at MC Goo 66. I mean, she is married, of course, and I'm married as well. But I love her because she has those products there, and I just sit there and I watch, and she's got all these beautiful things that I can't even touch, and I'm like, we can't even get any of that stuff here in Pennsylvania, and man, I'm so jealous. And I just sit there and look at the jars of beautifulness behind her on her shelves, and then they bring in new product, and she sits there and she's rolling, and she has to roll a certain amount of joints every day, and they got this cool ass machine that rolls like 40 joints at a time, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just
knockbox. That's right.
Yeah, you put the cones on it. You get like 36 of them or something like that, and then
that would be a different one. There's all kinds out there. We used to use Futurola was the manufacturer, and it was basically a cartridge. You could put 100 cones into it. You put it on top of the machine. Then you had a loading tray with 100 holes that would hold anywhere from a 0.5 of a gram to a full gram. You just simply dropped the milled weed on there, scraped it across with a card to level everything off, sat it on top of the machine, pressed the button, it vibrated, all the weed fell down, packed up the cones, pull it out, onto the next one, right?
And you're done.
Yeah, that's why you do about 5,000 a day.
Let's talk about a controversial topic. And some people, it's not very controversial, but it's controversial to me.
Controversial can be fun sometimes.
Well, it's not, it's not very controversial. Nothing. We're not going to have a big fight or anything, But, I want to talk about carts at gas stations or smoke shops compared to carts at, like your dispensary.
Right.
And then like the difference now, I haven't been to New York in a little while, so I haven't really got the opportunity to walk into New York and find a dispensary where they can buy stuff and see what I'm looking at.
Right.
But here in Pennsylvania, I want to say when the dispensaries first opened, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, carts were a big thing on the street.
Yeah.
You could get them, and they had like a little Monopoly dude on the front, or they had, or you can get the runts.
I've actually seen that.
Huh?
I've actually seen that Monopoly dude one.
Right. The package has got a little Monopoly guy on the front, or there's a brand called TKOs, and there's a couple other brands. I've tried them, and they're just not right. Right. I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah. When I first started making pens,
I only ask this because I'm concerned for some of my friends out there who, and I'm not going to name anybody, but that might go to places that aren't exactly the right place to be going. And you're
you're right. You're right about that concern. And I'm going to tell you how I know for a fact you are.
And they get these cheap prices, they'll be like, oh, I got this for $20. And I'm like, all right, but are you smoking gasoline and kerosene? You don't even know what's in there.
No, but this was how it went for me. When I first decided to make pens, it happened because somebody I knew had 2,000 grams of shatter and didn't know what to do with it. So that's what inspired me to learn. These things were just coming in the market, vape pens. Nobody had really seen them before. I'd been looking at them for 2 months, and I decided, okay, I'm going to figure out how to make this juice that'll work inside a disposable vape pen. such as the juju joints, which is where I started. So I researched, and what I came down to is what they were using in regular vaporizers, nicotine vaporizers, which was propylene glycol and something called polyethylene glycol, PEG, PEG.
Yes, I've heard of it because it's a lot with vape juice, right?
Yeah. And the PEG, the polyethylene glycol, contains an alcohol component. That ethylene in the middle is an alcohol.
We're live, Larry.
Which means cannabis can be soluble in there. You can infuse it with cannabis because it has that alcohol component. So I was buying pharmaceutical grade from Florida, PEG 200, 300, and 400, and polyethylene glycol, and I was producing my own vape juice, right? And then
something I need to get into, by the way, sir. We'll be talking about that privately in the future.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that anymore. Honestly, I wouldn't smoke it.
Make my own vape juice.
Well, no, I'd make my own vape juice, but I wouldn't make a nicotine vape juice. I would make cannabis vape.
I mean, if it was affordable and I could afford to just vape cannabis all day and not worry about this stupid nicotine, I would gladly get rid of it. But I gotta substitute.
Yeah.
I'm only at like 2% nicotine right now, which I don't know what that works out to, but I've been working my way down. I recently started working my way off of them because I was having those throat issues recently and I was concerned. But now that my throat seems to be clearing up,
okay,
I want to get off of it though. I hate them. You know, there's no
I mean,
it doesn't do anything for me except for that oral fixation. You know,
but no smoking ever does do anything for you unless it's cannabis. It's all bad for you. I don't think vaping is good for you either. And that's why I strayed away from, I stopped as soon as distillate became widely available. It wasn't. When I first started making pens, distillate, I hadn't even seen it yet. Shatter was where we were at in evolution. Rosin was something that was being talked about. You know what I mean? And I saw some things about people using hair straighteners to make it and shit like that. And but as soon as distillate became available, that allows you to remove all these components that we just can't say whether it's safe or not. I mean, people do get sick from vaping, right? There are certain lung things that happen. Some people have very bad reactions to vaping this juice over a period of time. And
yeah, I've heard about popcorn lung and things.
Yeah, yeah. So I really didn't want to. And I also heard that people were getting sick because people were using vitamin E oil when they were producing cannabis vapes, right? Vitamin E oil was the oil they were using to liquefy the shatter and put it into the thing. And that was really bad for people. You could get away with using MCT oil if you wanted to liquefy shatter now to make your own shatter pens. But really, distillate's the way to go because distillate is a pure form of THC. Use distillate. You want to flavor it a little bit. You use natural terpenes, which are very inexpensive. If you spend $10 on terpenes, you'll be set to make your own pens for, probably 2 years to come based upon that $10 order, right? So very minor financial component to making your own pens, but you can do it quite inexpensively if you.
All right. All right. I'm so in love with you. I said I'm so in love with you because you have the ability to tell everybody how to do this. And I'm going to ask you, what is all right? So I go to my dispensary, okay, and I'm going to spend, let's say they have a big old deal right now on some fresh flour. I can get an ounce of flour for $180. That's a deal. That's a fucking great deal here. Okay.
Right.
All right. Is that enough to make my own carts?
Don't start from flour.
Don't start from flour.
Start from concentrate.
All right. So now I have a deal. It's Waxy Wednesday. I go there and I buy all the same type of wax.
Yep.
Shatter, preferably.
You could use shatter, but what I would look for would be either the sand like you get. What you get there, that stuff they call sand, which is 96% THC. It's THCA, but it's super high in THC. Or I would look for distillate, THC distillate, in a syringe that you can transfer into a vape pen. So it's a super thick oil, but that would be the optimum starting place.
So wait,
Or
you're telling me that I can go out. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I can go out and buy those little cart things, the fillable cart things, and then I can go to my dispensary, pick up a vial of that, the syringe of the distillate, squirt that straight into my cart. Put the cap on it, close it up, put it on my thing, and I can vape it.
You can if you get the right pen, If you get the right disposable unit, one that's designed for what they call heavy oils, and you can buy them on Alibaba. You can buy them from
shout out to Alibaba.
Yep, you can buy them from Alibaba, and you could buy a box of 100 empty pens. That would be sufficient
about
to do the job.
The cart things, the ones with glass. You don't want plastic.
Yeah.
You want real ones.
No, you want glass ones. If you want to buy just the little cartridges that screw on the top and maintain the same battery all the time, you can get them for probably about 80 cents each.
Thread. Right, 510 thread or whatever it is.
Probably about 80 cents a piece, right? So you get 100 of them for less than $100. $100 shipped, right? For 100 of those, you throw them away.
Can you reuse them? Can you reuse them after you've done them once? Like, can you open it back up and do it again? Put more shit in it?
If you get ceramic coil, yeah, you can get a ceramic coil.
Those. All right, so those little those parts of the pen that you buy, the refillable part where you would buy a cart, that is, they come with different coils, so it'll come with a ceramic. If I wanted a ceramic one, are they more expensive? I would assume.
See, you could get the cotton one like you have in your vape juice.
My vape, yeah.
And then what ends up happening is the same problem you have with that when you burn the coil. So when you get
eventually coil, you're going to burn that coil out.
Yeah, exactly. And then the pens throw away, right? It's garbage, the cartridge after that. So with a ceramic one, you can never achieve that because ceramic is good to heating of thousands of degrees, right? It's how they create ceramic. So and that device is only heating to around 450 degrees maybe. So you can never do any damage to it. Right. So you could reuse it for a long time until it probably becomes saturated. Like there'll come a point where those pores inside the ceramic are
rotting away.
Full of oil. It'll allow their oxygen to pass through at the same time, which you need, right? You need the combination of oxygen to bring out the vapor, then you'd have to throw it away. But you get a couple uses out of it anyway.
Right. All right. So let's get back to that for a second. So now I buy the quality one. You're saying 89 cents a piece or whatever, roughly. No.
80, 90 cents a piece.
Don't quote us. It could be different at different times of the year, whatever, depending on the season.
Yep.
Yeah. I have the Evo Boost. I hated it. But no. I want a cart. I don't want to do dabs, you know what I mean? I'm not.
That Puffco Peak is the best product in the market. If that's a Puffco Peak Larry's talking about, it's the best product there is for.
I know it's like $800 or $500. My daughter
$500 for sure. Yeah, it's $500.
My daughter was going to get it for me for Christmas, but she ended up getting me the Evo Boost because she's a cheapskate. No, I'm just kidding. I love it, baby. She spent $300 on me instead and bought me the Evo Boost.
Is that Evo Boost specifically for concentrates or is it for dry flower?
No, just concentrates. I'm pretty sure. I didn't put dry flower in. I just put, but I didn't like it. It's so confusing. Like you got to hit this button, then you got to hit this button 6 times, then you got to let it warm, then you got to hit this button, and then you got to wait, and then you got to hit, and then.
Was that your biggest argument with it? Was the complicated operation as opposed to the experience of when you actually did get it to work? How did you feel about it then?
I feel like I'll tell you honestly, dabs are very hard for me because I feel like they're so fucking expensive. And for me to put a glob of so much of that stuff in there, for me to not know how many hits I'm getting when I can nectar collect and have it for 3 days because I'm just barely tippity tapping it, and I'm just getting enough in there to get me a buzz. and I'm good. But unless I can afford a big sheet of shatter or something, like you see those dudes that are just dropping whole sheets of shatter into their phone, I don't want to do that. I do not want to, unless I have that much or a jar of, and I can just be like, yeah, fuck it, throw it in there. I can't afford that habit. No, I want a cart. Now I want to be able to have a
simple. They are simple, and they're effective, and they're discreet.
But they're
expensive. There are a lot, and they don't stink like weed. So if you're in a hotel,
and even if they do, it's gone in a matter of a half a second.
Yeah, it's gone in no time at all. So you know what I mean? It solves
so convenient
problems.
That's my issue, is that they were so convenient. I had them, and they were in my hand 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I'd be just like boop boop, going through a cart a day, a gram a day, throwing them away, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. I love them. They are awesome. They kick ass. They are the best high.
The secret to preserving
$100 a gram is not good.
No, it's not good. Not good at all. You know what I mean? That's
right. Well, that's why I'm trying to figure out how I can. You're going to help me figure out how I can do this the cheapest, so that it's affordable for me, and I can keep getting carts.
Listen, one thing is a fact, right? Inside of a country, when mail moves from one province to another, it's really not scrutinized. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a package that's going across an international border. It's remaining within one country, which is supposedly a free country. So it's very easy for products to move from California to Michigan or Washington State down to Arizona. Through the U.S. Postal Service, it's quite easy for things to move around the country. So I am sure there are ways that life can be easier.
Yes. Anyway, shout out to the United States Postal Service.
Yeah. I know they've done a lot for me in the past.
What else?
So Kelly says a distillate vape cart is better. It depends on what you're comparing it to.
She took your advice. She's a big pothead, and she got herself a card in New York.
Yeah.
Even though it's recreational in New York, and she goes to this dispensary, and she's been having some issues. They've been, because she's newer and I don't think she asks enough questions, they've been giving her some of the shittier stuff. But recently, since listening to us and hanging out, she's been getting better at purchasing her stuff there. This week, she was listening to us talk about the distillate and how you said a distillate is the best one that's going to get to your head and all that. And
it's the most intense,
Yeah, and so she went out and she purchased a distillate vape cart this week, and she is very happy with it.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so she's very happy.
This is the one thing, right? When you're buying cannabis from dispensaries or from retail, they're interested in one sole aspect of the transaction, which is to obtain your money. Your interest in the transaction is to obtain the best product possible. So if you simply say to the salesperson, give me the best ounce of weed.
I'm just going to get you on Facebook Messenger, and I'm going to hand you over to the girl at the counter, and I'm going to say, this is my attorney. He's here to talk to you. And he will be doing all of my ordering from here on out.
But see, the whole thing is if you don't tell them what you want, if you only ask them to give you a product based upon their recommendation, they're most likely going to give you a product that's hard to move under other circumstances. Right? The people who do go in and ask for the right products, the people who do pay attention to what's available in their dispensary, they don't want to tell them that there's no good product left because they know that these people are going to come in seeking out specific things. So if somebody goes in there not seeking something specific and with just an open recommendation, they're more likely to push you towards products that are hard to move. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. I would utilize that opportunity to move a product that doesn't move because I want to retain that name product, the one that somebody's going to come in and ask for somebody who's going to come in and ask for it.
Right, and that's my issue right there. Is I'll walk in with $600 and I'll be like, "All right, baby, here's $600."
You're like, "Great, we're going to get rid of some of this stuff that we can't move so quickly."
don't go over $600, you know. And I said, get me all the good stuff. You know what's good. I don't. I need an indica based good stuff. And they say, yay, you're our favorite. And then they run around and they get to buy all the good stuff. They pretend like they're buying all the good stuff, but I get home and I'm not overly thrilled with the good stuff.
Cannabis is a pretty expensive purchase, right? Would you go and buy? Do you go and buy a television or a refrigerator without learning a bit about it, about that particular item, right? Will you take a little bit of time and do some research before you go out and spend that amount of money without making the purchase?
Unfortunately, no. I'm horrible at that.
Right. It's, you know,
I'm all or nothing. Let's do it. Let's buy this house. It's beautiful. And now I'm living in a house that's falling down around me. You know, let's buy that car. And now I have a 2018 out in my driveway that's got a blown motor. You know, I'm horrible at that.
Yes, it's about being a good consumer, right? You can't demand what you're not willing to know. How can you demand that from the salesperson if you don't know? They can just tell you anything, right? So if you want the best out of your experience in the dispensary, know what you're looking for when you go in. Take the time. Almost everybody's got a website now. You don't seem legitimate if you don't have a website. Right? So any company, any little dispensary, any place has most likely got a website. Now, if they're not maintaining that website properly and showing you what's currently in stock, and then you go in there and ask for a product and they say, oh, sorry, that's been sold out. Somebody just didn't move it on the website or whatever, then you know it's going to be very difficult to use that as a resource. But if the company is good about updating their website, removing products that are sold out, or at least marking them sold out, and then putting in the current inventory as it comes in, then that's a great place to start your shopping experience. You know what I mean? And that's where I would start. Let's say if anybody here wanted some help determining what to do in their own personal dispensary, they could say,
listen, right now with me.
Yeah, I need to.
I have a couple $100 today, and I'm probably going to try to run down to the dispensary either today or tomorrow. I need your help. I need to go in there, and I can join a new one. I have a new one that just opened up right next to that one, like right down the road,
right?
And create a whole new relationship with these people, because these other people know me for the last 2 years, going in there with $500 and saying, "Hey, here."
Well, I mean, there's two ways, right? When you go in there and you start being specific with them, they're going to be like, "Okay, he's paying attention, right?" You know, so. You know what I mean? They're going to work with you.
Well, I have a great relationship with them. They love me. I walk in. I'm the weird dude with the tie-dye on, the old guy with the long gray hair, big fat guy. You know, they're like, here he comes.
It's a very different experience when I go into a dispensary, because these people feel like they've been put on notice. You know what I mean?
Like, the boss is here. Jesus Christ, everybody, be on your best behavior.
I take it as an opportunity to educate them. Right? Like I'll push the boundary of their knowledge because I'm seeking something specific, or what I'm looking for. I want to know which is going to be the best one there, right? Packaging date, whatever it is.
Let me run a commercial before we go on, and we'll be right back, guys. We'll be back with Dr. High, and we'll keep that thought. Don't. I'm too high. I already forgot it.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager, learning the lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate.
Thank you guys all for being here today. You guys are amazing. We appreciate it. Keep sharing it out and telling people. It's going to get bigger and bigger every day.
Means that something is awesome or cool.
Make sure you check out Bella's Badass Crystals right here.
It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter.
Well, you know, the beautiful thing is we always seem to be able to continue talking.
Another word you might hear.
Oh, that's good.
Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous, as in, Chloe, I am like so
Well,
jelly.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry. We always end up what?
You don't
I
have
said at least we're always able to maintain communication through a whole show, right? Like,
yeah, we can. I could always, I could always come up with a stupid question.
USkids.org.
It's not been as difficult as I thought it might be.
Department of Health and Human Services
I hope
to adopt U.S. kids.
I want you to feel relaxed and calm and cool.
Oh, I'm relaxed and calm. There's no doubt about it. But I just thought it might be challenging to fill a couple of hours a day.
In a matter of seconds,
Oh.
she turned herself into a great mathematician.
Oh,
and
this
an
is a topic
entrepreneur.
that anybody
More
can talk
buzz.
about because there's so much that we need to
And still
know,
is.
so much
Yeah.
that I
She could
thought
also
I
make
knew that I have no clue.
monsters
You know, like
especially those that lurked in the shadows under the
There's a
bed.
lot to it, right?
Once, this
Especially
woman
if you want to be.
teenage girl's broken heart.
well, that's why
which
I
had
love
been
this
shattered
because
in
we're
1,000
recording this. This
pieces.
is always going to
Just
be
by
here
giving her a
forever.
bear
And
hug,
my son is getting
she
into this
masqueraded
field.
as a
So
regular person.
every
Right.
day he can sit in the
But as a
future and watch
superhero at
these
home,
and learn more and more
everyone
just
knows
from
Miss
listening to
Gabrielle.
us talk, you know. And
I still call her mom.
Bella's badass crystals, good morning.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, hippie, look at this beautiful crystal sphere I got from Bella's Badass Crystals.
Look at this big vagina I got.
OMG, hippie.
It doubles as a worry stone.
Bella's Badass Crystals is on the top of the mountain in Dauphin, PA.
You can also check out their sales. They have mini Mondays and twice a day Tuesdays.
Find Bella's Badass Crystals on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
They are badass.
They are badass. I love them to death.
I know. I've been starting to see them on TikTok.
Puppetry. Badger Heart
Only
Puppetry.
hippie.
If you need some kick-ass puppets,
Their vagina sales have tripled.
1-636-234-1535. He has all your puppet needs. He can fix puppets, build puppets, custom-made puppets. He has puppets off the rack for cheap prices. Contact Forge today at 1-636-234-1535 or on TikTok or Facebook at Badger Heart Puppetry. He also makes LARPing items too.
WTHC, we're back, and I want to thank everybody over here on Facebook and YouTube, and of course everybody out there on Live 365 and TuneIn for being here. We're going to be here every day from 10 until Dr. High says he's done. He's had enough of me, and then we'll call it and we're going to continue our show. But I can't thank you enough, Dr. High, for deciding to come hang out with us every day and help spread the word, the gospel of weed.
Well, you know, since when I first started this when I first went public with it anyway, I mean, I started it a while ago, but when I first actually came out with this the 1st of March on Facebook and started to interact with the community, and it's been really a great reception from people. I'm so pleased to see how many people really want to understand more about this plant and its potential and how it can help us. And I think that this is just an incredible opportunity to interact with people and address them individually, right? To look at their own situation and to help provide knowledge, not just on the general basis, but maybe more specifically with certain individuals that have specific questions, right?
Right. And it's all aspects. It doesn't have to be just THC. He's got knowledge in CBD. He's got knowledge in all of that. So, I mean, if you're a first-time patient,
interaction could be how to shop properly, how to
that's what we were
determine
discussing.
right for you. I mean, everything, right? I mean, just completely anything you want to talk about cannabis related. There's a pretty good chance that I can help. Pretty good chance.
And if not, he can lead you in the right way. Oh, he's frozen. Except for the fact
Yeah,
that
I mean, nobody knows everything, right? But
right. But if they're like I was saying, but if he doesn't know, like, we can lead you in the right way. We might be able to help you. You know, there's books. He's written books, 25 of them as of right now. He's got another 6 that are hidden in the back archives. And he's got his website is becoming more and more beautiful every day. You guys got to go check out drhigh.com. Absolutely. And then he has a dispensary there for people. Well, explain your dispensary, sir. Feel free to explain it.
Well, basically, there's a dispensary there that every product available in that dispensary is 100% legal in every state in the U.S. So it can ship anywhere out to anybody. We have THCA flower, I have edibles, gummies, many infused products, infused beverages, infused drink mixes. And we have a variety of beneficial mushrooms also, including Amanita muscaria, which is not psilocybin, but does have some of those incredible properties that go ahead, hippie.
Oh, the mushrooms, sir, they're able to be shipped anywhere as well? You said worldwide, right?
They are.
All right. And are they like, are they microdosable? I mean, are they already small enough for a microdose? Is that something that you would do on a daily?
They are microdose. I got one in my mouth right now.
What's the
and there's one of,
Kelly Collins
of the product that's available in my dispensary, the mushroom tarts.
Distillate, she says. But then she's too high to fucking read right here. It says DrHigh.com, you dumbass.
So, yeah, and the beauty of our products is the fact that everything is done through nanoemulsification, which means it's extremely bioavailable. So your body gets to absorb everything that's there. That's how you get the experience. It's rapid onset. By the time you eat a gummy, within 10 minutes you feel it. And you're gonna actually enjoy the experience, if you would, of any regular edible, except this one is legal.
All right, wait. So in 10 minutes, my first time ever taking one of these gummy mushroomy things. Is that what we're talking about?
A gummy, a THC infused gummy.
No. I'm more interested.
Oh, you're talking about the mushroom.
Yeah, the tarts or whatever you're calling them. Yeah.
Well, they're not. The Amanita muscaria is not legal in Canada, so that has not
legal to say. What the hell did you just say?
Amanita muscaria. It's the mushroom that you see in the cartoon.
I'm going to need some mascara too.
Well, I'm going to tell you. You know when the magic mushroom is portrayed, it has the red cap with the white dots on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Amanita muscaria mushroom. Oh. That is the name of that specific type of mushroom. So it's the one you see in all the images with the red cap and the white dots. You know, all the cartoon ones and everything.
Yeah, the main one you always think of when you think of mushrooms, but really not what you're getting when you get mushrooms.
Yeah, no, it's different because most of those mushrooms contain psilocybin.
But what I'm saying is, like, that stuff, the Amanita muscaria stuff, is that the stuff that I would want, or is it possible?
It would definitely be something you could try. Because let me tell you,
if I took it on a daily basis, it would make me happy.
Yeah. Let me say, the dispensary that I have available on my website, the portal for which you can buy these infused products, is part of a bigger company called Canaglobe. So anybody can own this dispensary, right? Anybody who's listening to us can own their own dispensary, just like I do, can offer the same products like I have, and have the opportunity to make the money.
Probably not the same beautiful art, but
well, I mean, it depends on how they decided they wanted to.
Depends on how much you want to pay for Dr. High's art that he has for sale.
There you go. But so I'm a part of Facebook groups that involve Canaglobe, the company that I'm in partnership with, for whom I'm an independent distributor. And there's a total of probably 8 individuals between the few groups that I'm in. And I get to see.
I apologize. Did you say 18 or 80?
No, about 8,000 individuals. This is a fairly new opportunity. It's only been up and running since the beginning of March in the United.
How come every time we got something important to say, you freeze?
And only.
Such a handsome fella.
So this dispensary only went live in the U.S. the 1st of March and live in Canada the 1st of May. So it's very new, right? So there's about 8,000 individuals who are virtual dispensary owners like myself, or looking into the community to see if they wish to become virtual dispensary owners.
Right.
I get to see what people say about the products that they try. And the response on these mushroom products is very, very positive from people. I myself have all the mushroom products we carry except for the Amanita muscaria. And I am using them every day since I received my order, because when you become a virtual dispensary owner, you get an initial package of products as part of your onboarding, right? So I got about $420 worth of product from them, all the mushroom product. And I can tell you, over the last 3 weeks that I've been taking these, I feel different. There has been some change. For me to be able to put my finger on it and say, oh, this is a specific change, I couldn't. But my energy level, my focus level, my general feeling of well-being, I do feel a difference. And I really do. Now, the THC products I've never been able to try because they can't ship them across the border. But for those of you out there who know Master Rochi or are familiar with the Grow Fam, Master Rochi is a virtual dispenser owner like I am. I was actually his sponsor in Canaglobe, and he received his package of product from them, which contained all the THC product, and I think only one of the mushroom products, but they focused on the THC products for U.S. dispensary owners. And he's been getting high like we have for 40 years. And his review to me of those products, we spent 2 hours discussing each and every product he received. And his reviews were glowing on how effective the product was and how well it worked for him. So although I haven't tried them myself, somebody whose opinion I would value has given me really, really great.
His name ain't Master Rochi because he don't know nothing about weed.
Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. So the products are fantastic. And if you're someplace where it's difficult for you to access good quality edibles, really effective ones, then I can help. That's it for that.
And you can find it right here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you want to become your own business owner and you'd like to have your own virtual dispensary, then I can help you work through the path. You'd become part of my network, and we would work together to get you to the point where you were successful, you understood the business model, and were able to turn this into something special.
What if you're special like me and it takes a while for me to understand what you're talking about? I mean, I understand so far, but, like to get into this whole thing, some of it makes me, like, all right. So like you're in the I'm in the United States and you're in Canada.
Yes.
I'm not allowed to have the mushrooms here in the United States, and you are because you're in Canada. Is that what you're saying? Hippie needs a large donation if he's going to do it.
Every product in my dispensary is available everywhere in the United States.
Okay.
Now, when you first visit the dispensary, you'll be asked to select your country because we are. Yeah.
All right. So I'm so sorry. I have a bad habit of doing it, but you make me think of things. So like, so now but now I forgot. Fuck. So like everything's available in the United States. All right. So when somebody makes an order, it doesn't come from me. It comes from somewhere else, right? I don't have a case. I don't have cases and cases of mushrooms.
You never touch a product. You never.
Right. I don't want to. I don't want to have. I'll smoke it all. I'll end up eating it all and smoking it all. I'll have
you
no.
Never touch a product, Hippie. It goes. Okay. You're basically what you're basically doing is associate marketing, right? You're marketing these products within your own community of people because people, the way things are done these days are changing, right? Before it was television and radio that drove advertising, but it's become much more social now, right? It's much more about community. That's why you see the influencers on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that.
All the other.
Yeah, you know what I mean? People want to do business or use the same products that are used by the people they trust and the people that they believe in and the people that they associate with, the same kind of lifestyle, the same sort of beliefs. So this is the model that's changing. No longer are you going to find guys like Michael Jordan making millions of dollars, right, to endorse a product, because those companies would rather now Get 20,000 people.
Hello, I'm here.
20,000 people who are very popular in the social media niche for which their product is sold, and have them display these products within their own networks, right?
Right.
So social selling is becoming the future. And this is the model that Canada Globe has adopted. It's like Amway. It's like Mary Kay. It's like many other different businesses that have become extremely successful and built great wealth for a lot of people. The only difference with Canada Globe is it's the cannabis business. It's THC products and mushroom products, beneficial mushroom products, that are being distributed fully legal under the 2018 Farm Bill in the United States and going to be in 26 other countries around the world. Canada is the second country, but because of the regulation here, they have not been able to introduce THC product into the Canada Globe offering yet, but it is being, it's a process, right? Because Canada's regulatory framework is a little bit different than the US. But yeah, and it's an opportunity for anybody to have this business. I mean, nothing is easy, right? There's no free lunches anymore, we like to say. You have to put in the effort. You need to communicate, but that's what it's about, right? It's about using your networks, developing networks of people. It's about building a community for yourself where you all strive together for a common purpose to help lift each other up, to lift ourselves up. You know what I mean? And develop a business that can sustain us without needing other people's input, right? Without having to work for somebody else. Because the absolute truth of the matter is you're very unlikely to find financial independence as long as you have an employer. You need to be an entrepreneur. You need to take that effort that you put in 8 or 10 hours a day into a job and put it into yourself. Put it into building and creating your own wealth. You know what I mean? It's taken me 50 fucking years to figure it out. But
me too.
It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. And this is part of it. I want to be a part of building communities like this. I want to develop these relationships with people that I don't know yet, but are of a common mind as I am, of the same sort of beliefs, right? Who believe in the power of cannabis to heal, who want to know, because I have knowledge over a lifetime.
Right.
And that can help people, especially now as we're transitioning into a world where cannabis is going to become more prevalent.
Now, as it becomes more prevalent, how does that work for your dispensary?
Well, it's just good products that are available. It'll become a trusted source, right? Because by the time you have legalization, I'll have had this dispensary for 3, 4 years, 5 years. Who knows? Who knows when it's going to happen, right? And by then, people who will try the product will know. And the difference with cannabis is, you know, no matter what situation you're in, most of the time, if you're a cannabis user, you usually find the money for your cannabis, right? So it's not like let's say Mary Kay, where a lady needs to purchase her makeup once every 3 months or 6 months or once a year or whatever it is. If you do that, use cannabis, use it regularly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So your customers will really become the customers. And not only that, if they become customers, they have the opportunity to refer your dispensary to others and receive a commission themselves for every sale that goes through their network. Right? So there are opportunities to make money with this that are greater than just having the dispensary.
Can you
Right?
focus
There are
on one
others.
particular section of it? Like if I didn't want to focus on the THC, but I wanted to focus on the mushroom side of it, can I do that?
It's the website. Basically, what you're doing is you're joining the network, which gives you your own website. a pre-built website that is the same for every virtual dispensary owner. And those products that are available on those website on that website are the products that you can sell. Now, you can promote individually any product you choose. You can say, you know what? I really believe in the mushrooms. That's what I wish to promote. Doesn't mean that the THC products aren't still available to your customers. Just means that that's going to be your area of focus, right? That's where you're going to
area of expertise.
Yeah, that's going to be the area that you choose to. Those are going to be the people that can benefit from the mushrooms are the ones that you're going to help find your product, right? So, and not only that, but we have celebrity branded product also. This company, Canaglobe, for anybody I don't know, like mostly for young people, I didn't know who he was till I got involved, but there's a guy named Dan Blazarian who has 34 million followers on social media and is one of the biggest social media guys. Well, he's a partner in Canaglobe, a substantial partner. You have Holly Barker, you have Scotty Huss. There are some pretty big names whose products you have access to immediately. So you get the credibility actually of selling celebrity branded product right off the jump. You know what I mean? So there are a lot of good things, but you have to put in the effort, right? You have to talk to people. You have to help build your
community.
It's a business.
Yeah.
It's a business. You have to put in some effort, but it's well under $1,000 to get involved. You can get involved for as little as $420. If you want to have other streams of income potential with Canaglobe, you can become as I have become. I'm a video pro. I have been trained so that I can train others into Canaglobe, and I get paid.
Bella's badass buds, yes. See?
Yeah, I get paid for that training, right? So when I train somebody into Canaglobe, I receive a payment for training that individual. Now, it's not a necessary component. You don't have to do that, but I decided that I like to teach. I kind of like to help people, so I didn't see why I wouldn't join at the level for which that I'd be able to share and help others achieve their goals too, right? And understand what they're involved with. So you can come in at that level, which is about $300 more than the $420 fee. And then once you spend the $420, you will then have to spend $25 a month for as long as you wish to own that dispensary. So you get your product, the $420 you spend initially, you get all that in product. So you don't lose money. You get the product value, which you can share with others. You can use to start your business by sharing these products with people, letting them see their effectiveness, how well they work, and then going from there. And then $25 a month covers the cost of your website. So every month you pay the $25, your website stays good, working, and you can sell your products, and you can. So there's some really cool things about it, you know, some really great opportunity for somebody who wants to put in some effort and is passionate about cannabis and is interested in meeting people and interacting with people and helping others achieve their dreams. And you just have to figure out why, you know?
Yeah. I'm interested, you know, I've been interested. Mrs. Hippie and I have been discussing it. We have to situate ourselves here in our lives first. But once we get an opportunity, I would love to be, you know, talk to you more about it, get more info. And you guys, you can go check out his website. It's right. Oh, no, that's not it. That's On Your Water. It's DrHigh.com, and he has the dispensary right there, right? You're frozen again. Well, I got to do a commercial while you freeze over there. I will do a commercial, and we'll be right back with Dr. High.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable.
But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance.
Oh, now
Care for your
you
own physical
decide
and
to
mental
join us.
well-being, and manage the challenges.
Yeah,
Now
it
you
froze
come
right
back.
up.
The better care you take of yourself, the better
Yeah.
care you can provide
Froze
to
right
your
up.
loved ones.
Where was I at? What were we talking about?
I don't even know.
You're there for them.
We were talking about
Find free care
I think you
guides
pretty
to
much
support
finished
you
your
and loved
statement.
ones at
I had just said
aarp.org/care.
you can go to his
AARP.org/care.
website and check it out.
Public service announcement brought to
The
you
actual
by
dispensary
AARP
is up on his website. It'll be a variation of what yours is going to look like if you were to purchase into it.
right, class.
Well, no, if they want to see what theirs would look like,
Jill? Well,
all they have to do is click on a product on my website. It'll take them directly to the true dispensary site.
Must have sent a record or something.
Uh-huh.
And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge
Curly
rock
Kel just checked
and
it
saw
out.
all these little minnows swimming around.
What'd you think,
Whoa,
Kel?
I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
Hey, it's me, Mrs. Hibby. Check out Vern on TikTok at You Have Me Hooked. She's amazing. And everything she makes on TikTok, she sells at You Have Me Hooked 23 at Etsy. So you can watch her make it, and she'll make personalized stuff. So if you have an idea, like I would like this thing made, she can make it. She can make anything. She's an incredible artist. Check her out at You Have Me Hooked on TikTok and You Have Me Hooked 23 on Etsy.
I just want to give a huge shout out to Chuck over at Collins Painting LTD. You can find him over on Facebook. They're in Ellensville, New York. Wow, what a great team over there. Really amazing, and always supporting us here over at WTHC.
Hey guys, you got the hippie here. I just wanted to take a minute to give a big shout out to all my sponsors and just say thank you for everything you do and all the other people that help me out constantly. I love you guys, and thank you. Thank you.
I would still be loving you.
Welcome back, everybody. You are hanging with the hippie and Dr.High. We are live on Live 365 and TuneIn. We are hanging out over here on Facebook and YouTube. We are having a great day. It's been a lot of fun. We've been talking about a whole bunch of stuff. If anybody has any questions over there, please feel free to write them in the chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Dr. High, it's up to you, man. Come on, give us something to talk about. So like I was saying before, I got something. Oh, you're frozen again. Damn it. As soon as we come, the whole commercial, you were looking good and smiling. And then as soon as we come back, there you are. All right, you're back. So I still am confused on my dispensary purchases for either later today or for tomorrow.
Okay. You're gonna have dispensary. I can look at the website.
Well, hi, Lori. Lori says, why can't she get high off of edibles? Because you probably have the same thing.
Some people can't. What's the highest? Does she know what the highest dose she's ever taken was?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Lori, do you know the highest dose you've ever taken? Because dosage does matter. I'm fat, that's why.
Me too. But it works for me.
Me too. Never worked for me.
Okay. Yeah, for some people it doesn't work. I know edibles don't work for a hippie either. But me, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3" and 300 pounds, and a 50 milligram dose for me is good. I'm good on that. But yet my wife, she's 5'6" and maybe 110 pounds, and maybe 100 milligram dose isn't even enough for her. So it really just depends, right? Everybody's different when it comes to edibles. The only thing you can say about edibles is when you start to use them, go low, start low, and then slowly increase the dose until you find what's comfortable. Don't jump right into 200 milligram candy bars and stuff like that. You will probably not enjoy yourself. You know?
Yeah. Now that makes me think of something. Have you come across those mushrooms that come in said candy bar? Like a big chocolate bar with mushrooms? How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's all about dosing, right? Now,
I mean, yeah, but I mean, do you feel like it's a safe product that is out there on the
as a
market?
manufacturer, I mean, right now it's a product that wouldn't be legal, right? So who's regulating it? Who's keeping an eye on it?
Right. So me, as the crazy person that I am, say no. I'd rather not try something that comes in a package, even though it has the Monopoly dude on it, and I think it looks cool.
Very easy to package products. Very easy to find a fancy package, especially this day and age with the printers people have at home, right? Good quality printer, and you can print, all kinds of bags and labels.
Packages a day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. You know what I mean? So if you want a mushroom candy bar, get yourself some mushrooms, get yourself a silicone mold, and get yourself some chocolate and make it. You know what I mean? Make it so you know what you're consuming.
It all goes right back to know your grower. Know your grower and everything.
Or do it yourself. It's really so easy. People don't understand. They think it's very complex, very difficult to make your own preparations, cannabis preparation, mushroom preparation, whatever it is. It's really not. It's really, really simple to do. It's just people just don't get that it is that simple. But here,
I don't know if it's we don't get it.
Understand how simple it really is.
Dr. High, I don't think that it's we don't get it. I just think that it's still, a lot of us have still been pounded in our heads over our lives that, it's not something we should be looking into. It's not something legal. And now it's, we're all starting to catch on. I mean, you caught on before a lot of us.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of people caught on before some of us. Some of us have just been smoking along, not really paying attention to what's going on in the world, just getting high. As long as I got my flower, I'm good. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's a dispensary, and bam, there's all these rules, and now there's strains coming out of my ass, and I don't even know what a fucking strain means. I'm in there, and I'm like, just give me the good stuff. And they're like, all right.
Yeah, and they're definitely probably not going to give you the good stuff.
Well, yeah, now I'm like,
really
I've been spending for the last 5 years, $105.
You got to demand, you got to look at the labels. You know what I mean? You have to be an enlightened consumer to get the best out of your trip to the dispensary.
Yeah, well, I will be from here on out. I'm going to be taking. But see, that's what I was saying before. They don't make it comfortable for you. Like if they had like little chairs, like half of us are there are disabled or hurt or injured or some sort of medical condition. You'd think they would put a fucking chair out in front of your little booth there so that I could sit my fat ass down and be able to talk to you and not have to bend down like this and be like, I need an eighth of this, please. Ow, my back. I can't. It hurts to go to the dispensary. I'm like, and then they got the little hole up here I can talk through, but she's sitting down there, and I'm like, I need an eighth of something. This tiny little bank hole, and I'm like, oh, this is waste. I don't got 3 hours to go to the dispensary, but you say I should call. I've been afraid of that. I just,
a lot of times when I go to the dispensary, I screenshot the products I want. Like I look at home first. I screenshot the products I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And then I go there and make sure that the products I'm interested in meet the specifications that I determine are correct for me, packaging date, stuff like that. So when I go in there, I know what I'm going to talk to them about already.
Right.
You know what I mean?
See, they don't even let us bring our phone in. We're not even allowed to bring I had to go out to my car because I forgot I brought the wrong credit card with me one time, and I had the one with no
Make
money.
a little list on a piece of paper.
I
Just
had
make
to
a little list. Make a little grocery list. That's all.
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do. I see.
Well, you gotta if you really want the best value for your money and the best experience for your money, you have to put in some effort.
Well, that's what I thought. That's what I thought I brought Da.High by, so he could tell me.
Yeah, well, I can't actually go to the store with you. That's the problem, right?
Oh, you can.
That's-
You just be
for
in
me,
my
it's
pocket, and in my ear, and in my
There
pocket.
you go.
Tell that-
I
tell
have a
that
big damn pocket, brother. If I'm going to fit in there.
Oh no, my phone.
Oh,
My phone.
oh, okay.
And
So
an ear-
Lori says she had a friend who. Well, first she says they all get high when they do the edibles, but it doesn't. She's always waiting for it. That's unfortunate. Perhaps next time they try edibles, you should maybe do like 1.5 times what they're doing and see if.
Yeah,
if
Lori, you just got to eat more.
Well, you have to see, right? Because if it is a situation where you really don't respond well to edibles, you don't have to worry about taking too much and having a negative experience. But if you're not having any experience at all, up your dose and try the next level, right? And see what happens.
I was just gonna say, when you say up your dose, I mean, if you're at a dinner, all right, say like our friend Little Boxes that's gonna come on, I hope soon, and she makes like whole catering dinners, and she's willing to fly anywhere in the world. She gets flight benefits, and she can fly anywhere and do catering for you.
Right.
Now, she, so she comes and she doses everything, okay, and you unfortunately don't get off. Do you eat more of the food to hopefully get you off, or I mean, do you have to overeat to?
Well, this is part of the problem in a catered situation like that. Is it takes about 2 hours, right? For some people, it can take up to 2 hours to feel an edible. Now, you're not generally going to have 2 hours between courses, and if you are, you're most likely going to be complaining to the chef. So the thing is that by the time you're done your meal in a catered situation like that, and you realize that you haven't gotten the experience that you were after, it's really a bit too late, right? So when you're at home with your own edibles, you've made your own gummies, you've made your own cookies, you've made your own brownies, then you can experiment.
Right. All right. Well, so I have my hand up, so I wouldn't cut you off, but you seem to be finished with that statement, so I'm going to cut in. So, fuck, all that explaining made me forget. So it could take up to 2 hours. My man just said, Da.High just said it could take up to 2 hours for an edible to kick in. Da.High, I don't know about you, but I'm in a lot of pain, and if I eat an edible and it ain't working within like a half hour, I have to go and smoke. What's up with my fucking hat today?
But that's okay.
But then I don't know if I'm being affected by the edible, sir. You know what I mean? Like,
that will.
Like, I maybe I am getting off on edibles, but I fucking wouldn't know because I take it, and then like 30 minutes later, my back is hurting, and I'm like, all right, man, I don't have time to wait for this fucking shit to kick in. I need to get high.
That's where distillate is ideal, right? Distillate in a cart or in a vape pen, because you take that edible and it will take a while to work for you. If it does work for you, it still can take a while. For me, I find that I'm a good hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes for me is kind of normal. People are different, right? Yeah.
And it's a different high, right? So it's not the same head high that you're expecting. It's more of a body high, right? That's what I've always heard.
It is.
Right. So, I mean, who knows if you're feeling it because it's your body. All it's doing is taking away your pain.
Oh, no, you'll know. You'll feel like you're
walking on sunshine. I mean,
made of sand.
Really?
You'll feel like a beanbag chair that's pliable. You get that heavy, relaxed.
Like I got that one time when I took a whole shitload of CBD.
Yeah.
I got that. that I took a lot of big hits off of a CB out of my vape pen, not a regular cart pen, out of my vape. And I got some big old clouds and hits, and I took like 5 or 6 in a row. And all of a sudden I just got this overwhelming, like just relaxed feeling. And I was just like, wow, that is like the first time I've ever felt any type of an effect from a CBD product. And I was always against them, not against them. If they work for anybody, they work. God bless. But I was against them because I figured I'm a big pothead and I've been smoking weed all my life. What is CBD going to do to me? It's not going to even affect me. But boy, was I wrong when I took it in a large quantity of a strong hit of somebody who made it themselves, not something that you would buy at the store. Somebody who may or may not have done something I'm usually against, but he was very adamant that I try it. So I tried it, and oh my goodness, it was amazing.
I'll show you something right now with CBD.
Okay. All right. Look at his backyard. It's so beautiful. Welcome home, Mr. Slow. Good to see you. We'll be getting off in a little while and hanging out. We'll be back on the radio.
So for those who've never seen it, this is pure CBD. That
you gotta go up higher.
Go to the camera. Oh! That's what pure CBD looks like. Right there.
My nose immediately started to itch.
Yeah, it does give that appearance. But I have this jar here.
Yeah, you gotta hold it in front of yourself.
Well,
off to the side.
There we go.
See,
that's all pure CBD right there.
Now, what do you do with that? You just put it in a drink, or do you?
No, I make oil with it. I use MCT, medium chain triglyceride oil, which is a refined oil made from coconut and palm trees, and I infuse that for my dog. For myself, I like to put a few squirts in the coffee in the morning, things like that, right? Because
get that day going, get you that little calming, hey, I'm not gonna flip the fuck out today.
Like I said, like I have no medical requirement for cannabis, fortunately, at this time in my life, but I do take advantage of it because I think that there's medicinal benefit, even if you don't have a specific need, right? Just in overall general wellness in maintaining that homeostasis. Go ahead.
I would have to agree with you 100%. In fact, I have started telling people that if they are a marijuana smoker and they've been, or if they're new to it, or if they're sick, immediately get onto that RSO regimen. I've heard nothing but good things about it. And what is it going to do? What's it going to do? It's not going to hurt you. And if it has those possibilities of helping cure or clean up or, not cure. I don't want to say cure because there's no cure, but you know what I mean, Dr. High, help me because I'm floundering here.
What with RSO and cancer?
With everything, I've heard of dialysis patients going from stage 4 right to back to 2 and on their way down and getting better every day after starting an RSO regimen.
They as far as I understand, a lot of things that happen to us medically happen because our body's out of balance somehow. We're either too acidic or too alkaline. There's something physiologically gets thrown off, and that's what allows these cells to start to multiply and things like that. Cannabis, once again, works on putting the body back into balance. The components of cannabis, the cannabinoids, the terpenes, the flavonoids, they interact with your endocannabinoid system and work together in order to keep your body back in balance.
Preach.
Yeah. So the balance is what we need, right? The yin and the yang, like in your symbol, in one of my favorite symbols that on my Dr. High site.
That you had a very similar symbol. I was like, whoa.
It's the very first image you see because cannabis is balance.
Fire and water.
Balances us physiologically.
That's my bong. Water in my bong and fire.
Is that it?
Same idea. Same idea.
But yeah, that's what it's about, right? So that's why people see these tremendous results. And it just happens to be that RSO is one of the very most potent preparations, if not the most potent preparation of a full spectrum cannabis oil there is, right? So that's why it's beneficial. But it's a regimen that's quite a serious regimen. You need to, especially if you've just been diagnosed with a cancer or something, you want to be able to.
Big bug on your forehead there, bro.
Yeah, I just felt that there. I don't have much hair there, so I don't really feel them until I can see them in the.
I wanted to reach over and smack you. I was like, I'll get it.
But
that's what you get for sitting in the backyard.
That's right. Well, you know, something's got to pollinate the plants, I suppose, or take care of them. But yeah, so RSO, I mean, you start off very, very small, but you're supposed to increase your tolerance over the course of the first month, and then over the course of the next 2 months, consume at a rate of about 1 gram a day, which, depending on where you are, can be quite expensive. Here, 1 gram a day, for instance, would be $125 a week.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's about $18 a gram here. I have a place where I can source good quality RSO at about $18 a gram. But this particular dispensary, and I'll give them a shout out because they're a great place, Legacy 420.
Lazy 420?
Legacy.
Legacy 420, shout out.
20. They are really focused. They're on the res. It's indigenous owned dispensary. But from their inception in around 2015, they have been very, very focused medically. They don't tout the recreational use of cannabis. Of course, they'll sell their products to you for recreational use. It's no issue. Nobody's against it. But their main focus is on helping patients find the right path for them with cannabis. And that's why I've been a great supporter of them from the beginning.
It sounds like that you and myself and a bunch of other people that I've met over the last couple of months and years since by the way, my anniversary for the radio station, 1 year on my own, 2 years since I started was this week.
When, today?
Yeah, 4th of July, actually. 4th of July.
Nice. Happy anniversary for that.
Yeah,
That's good.
1 year by Hobbies and I, and then before that with the other guy for a year.
Yeah.
Less than a year, but almost 2 years complete.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so there I can source RSO. They sell it for $18 a gram. And that's what you'd be looking at, right? About $125 a week to get through that regimen. So you're looking at $1,000 to complete the regimen properly for RSO, but the potential is definitely worth it.
Well, like I said to you about my mom, and this was back in the early 90s, late 89, 90 area. She was diagnosed with cancer. It was lung cancer. Unfortunately, it did not go well. She was allergic to the chemotherapy, so she ended up having to get a ghetto form of chemotherapy, which didn't do anything except for make it explode and go everywhere. And then it was throughout her whole body, and then she ended up having brain. But in the early stages of it, when they first started, my girlfriend at the time, Mrs. Hippie, is now my wife, but at the time she was my girlfriend. She was talking to her bosses at work, and she was the secretary for the biggest person in the medical college, for doctors. It was a doctor's college, and a university. And so she was their secretary. And so they, talk over time or whatever, and got the lowdown that my mom was sick with cancer, and they gave her a black tarry like substance. Now, I was a pothead back then, and I was also probably partying on some other stuff during that time period. So I really wasn't too focused. Plus, I was having a very hard time dealing with the fact that my mom was dying. So I didn't get really involved in everything that was going on, and I never really thought about it. But now that I sit here and I think about it, I'm telling you, it was probably because I remember, and as you were saying that story and going through it, and I remember them going up and talking about having to go up in their amounts every day, and they would have to make it into a tea or into some sort of, and it was a black resiny looking tar, but I never even put two and two together. But now I sit here and I say, and they were like, this is research. This is like, nobody has any access to this. This is research, but try this. Give this to your family, to her family, my family, to her. They said, give this to your friend and tell him to tell your mom to do this and that. And she tried, and she ended up living for 2.5 years. I mean, I wouldn't say her last year was very quality, but it was a lot longer than we expected. They gave her 6 months. So she ended up.
I worked with a girl when I worked in the wholesale, when I was doing the wholesale stuff. There was a girl who worked upstairs in the retail store, and her father had been diagnosed with cancer. I don't remember the details of what type of cancer he'd been diagnosed with, but he had been given a very short time frame to survive. And she came to me and asked me if there was anything I could make for him. And I prepared RSO.
To help with the pain, or just
to help with the cancer period, right? Because she had heard about RSO and that, but she had no idea where to turn to for it. There weren't dispensaries yet.
Right.
So she came to me and asked me about it. And I said I could do that. I could prepare it for her. And she gave it to her father, and he took it over that 3-month period. And by the time he went back to see his cancer doctor after that regimen, where they had only given him like 6 months to live or something like that, when they tested him, when he went back, they told him, well, the way we're seeing things right now, we'll see you in a year. Come back in a year, they told him.
Yeah.
So he, whatever it started off as, and like I said, I don't remember the details anymore, but whatever kind of cancer it started off as, the only thing that was different in the regimen was he added this RSO to it, and they told him he'd be dead. And then they told him, come back and see us in a year. You're looking pretty clean right now.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're already a marijuana taker on a daily basis, like myself and a lot of others who may or may not be on it, I don't see the disaffects, or whatever the word would be, the downfall to starting it now. I mean, why wouldn't we? I mean, it's not something that you're going to get high off of. I mean, you will, but
RSO.
Oh yeah, no, you'll get high, but
it's super high.
Right, no, but I mean, but you're going to build a regimen, and it's going to be a daily regimen. It's like taking a vitamin every day. You take this RSO, and then at the end, hopefully, there's some sort of positive benefit. I mean, there's no negative to it except for
the downside is quite small
compared to the possibilities. The possibilities as you get older.
Any decision you ever make in life has two things to consider: the risk of that decision and the reward for that decision. And once you've assessed those two, then you always got to decide leaning towards the one that has the most prevalent evidence, right? The risk is greater than the reward, or the reward is greater than the risk.
Right, which leads me back to the story of the real quick story of Cheech and Chong and Willie Nelson again, and how they've been smoking marijuana since they were young children, and they're now in their 80s and 90. Well, I don't know. I don't want to quote anybody at 90 yet, but they're up there.
They're in their 80s. I think Willie Nelson's 90.
Yeah, he might be very close to 90, if not 91 or 90.
Just celebrated something like that, 93 maybe. I don't know.
Something I remember posting about it. But them living that long, and their attributes, they're saying, is because of their weed intake. Now, I'm pretty sure they weren't on an RSO regimen all their lives, but I feel like in all weed, there's got to be some sort of RSO particles or something. No, am I wrong?
Well, the only difference is RSO is a concentration of all those components that are in the plant already, which you're getting when you smoke it. Right? Which you get when you smoke, when you get it when you're turning it into a butter or an oil, you're getting, as long as it's full spectrum. The only time you move away from that is when you do a distillate or an isolate, or you know what I mean? So if you go straight THC distillate or CBD isolate or THC crystals, the full plant, right? So you have just that one specific avenue. But as long as you're looking at stuff like RSO, like one of the best methods is to juice fresh plant material. That's one of the healthiest things you can do. The problem is you need a lot of plant material to do it. And most people don't have access to that kind of weight.
So let me cut you off because that's what I do. Juicing, like if I were to go behind you and grab a whole, say I had a farm of it, okay? Like say, maybe one of your old places you used to hang out and it was just mine. And I know that's a dream, but if I went out there and every day I took a plant and I brought it in and I threw it into the blender and I juiced that shit up and I turned it into a foamy liquid of some sort and drank it, would that be helpful?
Yes.
That would
Extremely.
be great.
Yes.
The green, the grass, the roots, the grossness, whatever, the plant, the flower, everything.
The cannabis leaf is more nutritious than kale. Has more nutritional benefit than kale, the leaf itself.
Kale is gross. That's
it's gross, but it has a lot of benefits for the human body. Does it?
Mrs. Hippie's always trying to pass that off as lettuce.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, that is
And
not.
I'll tell you, I used to pick off.
That's garnish.
I used to love on my cannabis plants when I get a fresh shoot that I didn't want to grow, right? Because I control the growth. So I'd pop it off and eat it. It tastes like watermelon. It has the flavor of watermelon. A fresh cannabis shoot, small like that, when they're soft and they're just on that whitish light green, it tastes like watermelon. You know what I mean? But the plant is extremely healthy.
That sweet nectar.
Oh, it's nice. But cannabis leaves great in a salad. If you're your own grower and you have access to your leaves, you're cutting them off the plant anyway. Why throw them away?
Usually they throw them on the floor. Now, when you throw those on the floor, when you're trimming, really and truthfully, you shouldn't be doing that. You should save that and then make bubble hash or whatever.
No, the leaves have nothing.
No, nothing?
No, the leaves have nothing. The leaves are basically solar panels, right? Because plants live through that osmosis, right? Where they take in sunlight and convert to energy and carbon dioxide and convert the food and everything. And that's how they grow and they give back oxygen.
Right.
So those leaves are only to power the plant. So when a leaf becomes too big or it becomes sick or the leaf isn't perfect, remove the leaf because the plant is trying to use its energy to repair it.
Right.
When the leaf is as big as your hand, by the time the leaf has reached the size of your hand, the draw of energy it takes from the plant to continue to grow versus the benefit it gives the plant is now nullified, right?
You would rather that energy go to your buds than to your leaves.
Yeah, that's why when you go into flower, throughout the cycle of the flower, the 7 or 8 weeks or 6 weeks that you're in, depending on the strain that you're using, most of them 7 weeks and up, you're slowly defoliating that plant. You're slowly taking off more and more leaves and leaving just the buds.
Right, that's what you were saying the other day about having a 9-foot tree with just the stalks periodically.
Yeah, you're just trying to focus the energy in the right place. But if you strip the plant too quickly of leaves, it'll give it a shock, right? And you'll slow down the process. So you want to do it in a manageable way so that the plant really doesn't notice that you're slowly killing it off, right? By removing its leaves.
Wait a minute, what will happen? I'm naked.
Yeah, exactly. So you do it, you know, in a controlled way and in a sensible way. But that's ultimately what you want to do. So when you're finished, that plant is mostly stalk, except for where the buds are growing.
Oh, all right. Well, I got to do a commercial. What's your plan today? It's already 12.
Yeah, I'll go another 15 minutes with you today, Hippie, and I should be good from there. I got to prepare Mama's work meal.
All right, we'll be right back. You're hanging with Hippie and Doktorhigh on WTHC Radio.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance.
I'm still lost on where I'm going today. I don't have the 500 that I usually have when I go there. I really think that I want to get rid of flour and dabs for a while. I haven't done carts in quite some time.
Okay.
Like I said, grams I usually go through in a day. I'm going to do my very best to not do that.
/caregiving. A public service announcement.
What's the name of the dispensary you're going to?
It's that acrothopathy, whatever it is.
Apothecary.
All right, class.
Yeah, that's one.
Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well,
In Stroudsburg, right?
Big oak
Yeah.
tree. It was at least
Hi, Robert.
100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something.
Did
And then
we,
went
did we
down
miss
that
anybody's
stream.
questions? If you have a question again, please feel free to put it in there. We'll try to get it in the last 15 minutes.
And then I rescued my little
If
brother
we didn't
from
get
an
your
evil
question in,
slug
please
king
feel
who
free
was
to put it
guarding him at the
there.
bush
If you
forge.
have a new
My sister
question,
and I brought
feel
him
free to
back
put it
our
there.
super twig for safety. And then we all laid out
So,
until it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to
what are you looking to spend? 200?
not far away. Anyone want to come
Yeah,
this
under probably under 200. Yeah,
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest.
200 or
Find
about
the fun,
200.
adventurous
And you
view.
want to focus more on carts?
Check out
Yeah,
discovertheforest.org.
the ones
Brought
that
to
you're
you by
telling
the
me are
US
good,
Forest Service
distillate
and the Ad Council.
or whatever.
Say bye-bye to bottled
Preferably
water.
full
Holistic Health Water
grams
has
because the
certified
half
medical
grams
grade
just
water ionizers
they're like
that
2
make
hits.
7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your
did the
shower.
fox say?
Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
Hey, it's me, Mrs. Hibby. Check out Vern on TikTok at You Have Me Hooked. She's amazing. And everything she makes on TikTok, she sells at You Have Me Hooked 23 at Etsy. So you can watch her make it, and she'll make personalized stuff. So if you have an idea, like I would like this thing made, she can make it. She can make anything. She's an incredible artist. Check her out at You Have Me Hooked on TikTok and You Have Me Hooked 23 on Etsy.
WTHC, we are back and hanging out over here on Facebook and YouTube, and we're live on Live 365 and TuneIn. I want to thank everybody out there for chilling out and hanging out. Of course, I want to thank everybody over here on Facebook and YouTube, and I think that's everybody. I want to thank Dr.High, of course, for being here. Dr.High, thank you so much for being here.
How's it going?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
I'm just deep into my research for you here right now.
Yeah, I know it's quick.
Yeah,
Last minute kind of thing, you know.
Well, that's okay. This is the kind of things we can do on here.
Right.
And it's all right because, but I'll tell you, I don't really
like my prices.
Your options very much.
No, they're shit.
Yeah.
I tried that other place. Try Columbia Care. I'm willing to go the other way if I have to.
Yeah.
If you see better
Because
stuff up
here,
there.
you have a lot of carts, live resins, and stuff that are sitting up around the 75% THC range, and they're half grams at $38, which is expensive, but it's really your only options.
That's what I would want, though. So I want more percentage than that, don't I? I want like 90%. 90, 89, 90, 91, 92.
The only way you're going to get there is with the sand. The sand is the only thing that I've seen in your dispensary over there, what they call sand, which I've never seen before. But I'm pretty sure what they're doing is dry sift hash, where they're just getting the gland heads, and that's how they're at such a high percentage. That, or they're making THCA diamonds and just crushing it into a powder, and that's why they have those high numbers, right?
When they're chipping off the diamonds and they're making their little regular size diamonds, whatever's left over, they crush that shit down, they put it into a jar, and they sell that as sand.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, but that shit's too harsh, and that's not a cart. I can't cart that.
No, it's not a cart. And your carts, from what I'm seeing, is I found a nice CO2 pineapple upside down from the lab, 500 milligram for $30.
That's a half gram for $30.
That's a half gram for $30. But everything here is half gram like that. And all their carts, I'm not seeing bigger carts.
Did you try the other place, Columbia Care? in
Not yet.
Scranton.
Not yet. Hold on.
That's a fucking 45-minute fucking ride.
Columbia Care,
Scranton.
Pennsylvania.
Dixon
I'm looking
State.
for Scranton, PA. Got it. Website. So anybody out there, we can do this for you. I can look into your dispensaries and help you figure out what product you really want to.
Especially if you have an ailment that you're focusing on, like seizures or PTSD or some of the other ailments that he's written books on already.
Their website doesn't seem to be linked to a specific store. It's like a general website, and it talks about the companies that they work with, but it's not really giving me.
And you're not on the right page.
At that store,
because usually I just click on it and it shows me everything and what's available, and it has like 10 pages because they seem to have a lot more product than the one that I currently go to.
So I'm looking at North Kaiser Avenue, Scranton, PA.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And this is the website I'm looking at. And when I start, view medical menu. All right.
There you go. I was going to say, unless they've changed, I haven't been there in over a year. I've been going to this other place for the last year.
So categories, we want to look at.
If I walk in there, if any other people are still the same, they're going to shit themselves.
We want to look at vape, right?
The cartridges, yeah, vape.
Cartridges or specialty pods. Carts are what you want. They have 281 different ones.
See, that's a much better choice.
Yeah.
Do they have a distillate?
Why is it not letting me check that box?
Are you 21?
Yeah, I'm 21.
Okay.
At least the last time I checked.
I hate that. I'm like, of course I'm fucking 21, you fucker. And then you don't even do anything to check. You just click yes. I could be 18.
I can
Click
tell you
yes.
right off the rip, hippie.
Uh-huh.
It's the same 0.5s, but they're cheaper by $2.50 on each cartridge. And your percentage goes up from 74% up to 87, 83, 88, 75.
Okay, so already I should be going there more often.
Yeah.
Now, do they have distillate or whatever you're telling me I need?
Well, so far I'm seeing a lot of live resins, which are good. No, live resin's good. Don't put that down. That's got all the benefits.
I don't want fucking benefits.
No,
I do. I need both. I need benefits, but I also want that recreation. I want that fucking high.
Well,
man.
I'm trying to find you the distillate here.
I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like I ever get high like that anymore. It's just the same fucking. I feel like a heroin addict. I'm just trying to kill the pain, you know.
Yeah, they got 218 products that I got to scroll through here to find it because they only have it through vape, but they're not showing. And they're showing almost every product as live res. Oh, here we go. Look at diesel comment. $66 a gram. Let's see if that's distillate. Medical marijuana oil. Not saying if it's distillate, but it appears to be distillate. And it's medical marijuana derived terpenes, so they're natural terpenes. So that's good. All right, so who is that? So that's Double Bear.
That might be
load more. Hold on, I'm going to load more. Only looked at the first 48. So I would say you'd be looking at the CO2 oil cartridge. That'd be good too, because that'll be high percentage, 88, 86. No, I think you're good with any of these, to tell you the truth. It'll be just easy for you to go in there and tell them you want to get. So here's the distillate cartridge.
Just tell me what I need to say. I don't care how much it is, because I'll just figure that out when I'm there.
Yeah.
But if it's two, if they're $80 each, then I'm only getting two.
No, I think you can do fine at 35 each and get 4 different ones to play with.
You're talking half grams though.
Yeah. Is there a reason you prefer that to a gram over a half gram?
I don't know. I just feel like grams last a little longer. Half grams, I feel like they're already almost out, and I'm like already sucking on them. Like, oh, this is already almost.
Well, they do have some 1 grams at $60.
$60, okay.
Yeah. So you got something to write with? I'll tell you the company to look for.
I can pretty much remember for the most part. I think. I mean,
You can,
are you going to give me a bunch of? Are you going to give me a bunch of them?
I'm going to give you just the company name and the strain name to look for.
All right, hold on. Let me get a pen. I got to put myself down.
So what we got to do to get you the right shit?
Got to sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
I got shit everywhere. All right, I'm ready.
Okay. So, where is the indica?
Yeah, that's what I prefer.
Yeah, I know you prefer that for sure. So, where's that big one I saw earlier? See, it's funny. In here, a lot of the sativas are showing the percentage of the indicas aren't. But so you want to get a company called Double Bear.
I've heard of them.
Their percentages, they're only showing the percentages in the sativas, but they also have the hybrids next to them. And they're pushing 80 to 88%. So you're probably pretty good there. So look at the Double Bears, ask them for an indica above 80%. 1 gram there, $66.
Okay.
Then I would look at a company called G-Leaf Medical Cannabis.
Now, what do you tell them? Distillate?
Yeah, you want specifically the berry gelato.
Berry from the Double Bear.
Yeah, no, from G-Leaf.
What's the one I want from Double Bear?
Well, that's the problem because all the real percentages that they're showing, they're only showing it on the sativas. They're not showing the indicas. They're not showing the actual percentage. But on the sativas, you got 86, 88, 81, 83, 89.
So the G-Leaf was which one?
So the G-Leaf was the berry gelato, which is a hybrid distillate cartridge, coming in at 83. That's $60 for the gram.
Okay. And how much did you say it was? 60 a gram?
60 a gram for that one. That's expensive.
They're all fucking crazy. The prices are outlandish. This is why I got to figure out how to make. Is it cheaper for me to go? No, I mean I can't do that today anyway. But I mean, does it make more sense for me to make my own carts? With the
it does if you look at sourcing it outside of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I mean that's another whole thing. That's another whole category. All right, Dr. High, it's 12:30. I want to thank you so much for being here. I have to.
And then you got.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Start with those two, and then if we go right back to the very beginning, there was another company called Shine. They're only half grams, but you can pick up one from ChemDog, a ChemDog from Shine, a hybrid, 87%, which is nice.
And how much is that? 30 something? I mean, does it make sense to just buy a shitload of cheaper ones, the $30 ones, the half grams? I mean, you're the boss.
Well, you're gonna have to try a couple differently to find what works for you. So I would actually, the first time I'm going in, I would really try, if you have the distance to get those 3, I would start with those 3 and give them a try and see where you go from there.
All right, sir. I am going to do so. I appreciate and love you very much. Thank you so very much.
Been a pleasure today. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by and seeing us and spending some time with us.
Absolutely. It's been a great day. We had a lot of people today, a lot more than usual. I love it. It's getting more and more every day. That's fantastic. I appreciate everybody. Dr. High, thank you again so very much for all your info, all the help, all the everything. You'll be back tomorrow, no issues?
I will be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m. on the East Coast. That's 9 o'clock Central, 8 Mountain, 7 a.m. Pacific for your Wake and Bake with Dr. High and the Hippie over here on WTHC.
Have a great day, everybody.
You too, sir. I'll talk to you after. I'll give you a call later because I got to talk to you about something else.
Okay, sounds good. Have a good one, everyone.
I'll text you if I can. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Everybody out there on Live 365, we got to go back to the music. Thank you so much, everybody. Here we go with some Hold On Loosely by 38 Special.